it's just too normal.
No, I get it. Deuce it is.
All right, we're live. I got Alan and Cave. What the deuce? Just sitting around shooting the ship, talking comic books, doing what we do best. Just talking ship.
Nice. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, no problem, man. Cave.
Yeah, thanks.
Appreciate it, Cap, as always.
Oh yeah. See, we had Simon
It's nice
R.
to meet some new folk here. The Comic Collector Geek, yes, already a legend.
I don't know about that, but sure.
So,
John. So, Alan, you're pretty much all-around kind of collector, Golden Age, Silver Age, modern.
So I'm kind of a weird collector. I collect based on TV series and movies that I like. So that's what sort of gets me into things. And then I'm one of those people that sort of investigates. So I find out, oh, this character is connected to this character. So, oh, I have to get that character too. Then, oh, there's that storyline that so I'm buying a whole bunch, maybe 20 comics, which should have been just one. So, you know, I'm kind of like one of those guys that I want to have it all. So, so yeah, I like mainly the Golden Age, but I do collect modern comics too. If there's like a new series, like I like The Walking Dead, and I liked, you know, Something's Killing the Children. I'm a big fan of that comic series, and so yeah, there's a bunch of stuff. I'm all over the place, so it's hard to really pin me down, to tell you the truth.
I feel
I like the fact that you have a Seduction of the Innocent run going. When I saw you, how many of those comics you had, I actually was thinking, oh, that would be a good run to go for. Actually,
it's a hard run to get, by the way. It's
yeah.
I have about almost 50 of them.
How many are there? I haven't read the book.
It's okay. So according to Comic Tom, you know, the key collector app thing, they say that there's 125 of them.
Wow.
But I found another site where they identified more of them. So there's probably another 20 that were not listed on that app, that thing. So maybe 150, I'm going to guess, altogether. There's a whole bunch where he makes, like, I bought the book, actually. I'm going to get it in the mail. The first edition copy. So basically they're going to start commenting. He makes like a whole bunch of comics where he references something in a book that he saw, but he doesn't say what the book is. So there's actually people that will investigate and try to figure out what reference that he's making. It's like a whole like subculture that's kind of cool. Yeah.
That's interesting.
I actually brought one of those major ones. This is kind of a major Seduction of the Innocence one.
That would be a classic.
This is like one of my favorite covers of all time. Actually, it's just such a crazy cover. It's like when I first saw it, actually, I didn't realize it even had like the broken neck. Like, you know,
yes.
It's like just really extreme. It's
crazy.
Which makes it kind of cool. I like things that are kind of a little bit wonky, you know, a little bit weird. So yeah, I thought that was awesome. So I figured I'd bring, you know, a couple cool things to show. I brought like about 30 books to show. So that's one of them.
That comic is great. And that whole series had some pretty brutally vivid covers with, you know, someone strangling a woman underwater, and then, you know, the famous one with the head.
So that's Crime Suspense Stories number 17. I have that coming in the mail. I'm going to get that soon. So you're going to see it in one of my unboxing videos soon.
Am I echoing, or who's echoing? I hear some echo here.
Hopefully it's not me.
Probably Deuce.
Hopefully it's not me. I don't know.
So yeah.
I muted myself and it stopped. I don't know.
So a few of my friends have shown up. Jerry the Jitterbug. He's a
Jerry's awesome. Yep.
Yeah,
he likes the Fawcett comics.
Yeah, so do I. Actually, I brought some stuff just for him if he was coming.
Nice.
So yeah.
Well, that's a good start with the crime suspense stories. That's big.
Yeah, my favorite actually is the one with. It's not actually in the Seduction of the Innocents, but it's the one that kind of changed comic history. It's the one where he's like got the axe in his hand, and you see he's holding the
The head in his left hand, the blonde hair. Yep.
I have that coming in the mail as well. So I have a bunch of really cool Seduction and Innocence books coming in the mail, like about 10 or 15 of them. So,
Wow.
so yeah, I
Can't go wrong with those pre-code.
I collect so many crazy things. It's like
Are all them graded, or are you just getting them all raw?
That's a low graded one. I think it's like a 1.5. So it's even in a 1.5, it's a very pricey book because yeah,
I'd take a 0.5, myself, but
yeah. But the main thing I was looking at was like, is it in my price range, and does it have like the cover showing well? And it does show well. It looks like the cover looks like a 3 or a 4, but it just happens that it has flaws that make it a 0.1.
Yeah, I have it, but the person who originally owned it, who I got the comic from a local comic store, but it was owned by my son's teacher's father. So I know who actually owned it. And he actually colored in the eyes. So that doesn't take the grade down a huge amount, but it's definitely, it's different because that white eye look is definitely part of the thing. It's still great. It's a 3.5, but it's,
that's nice.
But it has, the eyes are colored in. So that could bother a lot of people. So I got it a little cheaper than I would have otherwise.
By the way, that book is getting crazy expensive. That one has really skyrocketed recently.
Pre-code horror skyrocketed, and now Marvel Silver is skyrocketing out. But pre-code horror has been skyrocketing for about a year now. It's
it seems like it. When I try to pick it up, it goes up. I don't know why.
You're the reason. You're the reason.
Right.
Stop trying to outbid me, please.
Well, Comic Collector Geek, you tell me what you're going for, and I'll go for something different. All right.
So I'm going for all this, the Seduction of Innocent stuff. So don't touch.
Gotcha. 120. That's pretty good. I'm going for Golden Age Hitler covers, and there's about 100. There's actually, it's debatable how many there are, but there's thought to be about 101 Hitler covers. I got about 40 of them.
I actually brought a really cool Hitler kind of cover. You'll probably know it. One sec here. I have to show you. You'll like this. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah.
I'll take it out of the bag.
Oh yeah, Hansi. I saw your video on that. Absolutely.
Yeah, this is my favorite of those Hitler covers, actually, believe it or not, because it's just such a contrast, like this crazy Nazi girl. And actually, I read the story. It's like kind of funny. Actually. It's interesting. And then there's Hitler in the background, right? So.
I didn't actually realize Hitler is on the cover. Okay.
Yeah, he is on the cover. Yeah.
Oh wow.
But it's a very cool one. This is a first edition too, which is really rare. So.
That's technically a Bronze Age, or how old is it? Or is it silver?
It's 1973, so that would be Bronze Age.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I've had my eye on that. I've seen some raw copies, and I've just missed pulling the trigger on it. But that's a classic.
Yeah, I kind
of people erroneously think it's just like you mentioned in your video that it's a pro Hitler thing. It's not.
Opposite. Opposite. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. So yeah, that one I actually want to get but I know I can't afford it. The one with Captain America where he's punching Hitler. I think that's like
number one.
Captain America 1.
Yeah.
Captain America 1 and 2 both are him punching Hitler. So.
Oh, I didn't know that. I knew that one definitely. He's like.
One's the big one. Yep.
Yeah. But I think even in like a 0.5, it's like 20, 30. I don't know. It's like
it's hard to get. Yeah, I mean, for a comic that sold millions of copies at the time, it was wildly popular. Mm-hmm. After Captain America 1 came out, everybody decided war comics were the way to go. The copycats came out, but all the paper drives and moms throwing away the comics when their sons went off to war, they're all very rare now.
Yeah, it's that, and also when the Seduction of the Innocent came out, they burned so many of these awesome comics, which is to me very sad. Yeah. So do you want me to show some other stuff?
Oh yeah, show it.
So
I can make it big.
So some of the stuff that I'm really into right now as well, I do collect runs. The run that I'm working on, that's kind of a weird one to work on, but is Fantastic Four. So I'll show you the ones I have.
Oh yeah.
Fantastic Four #1.
Get it out of that bag. Let's see it out of that bag. Come on now.
So, yeah, I'll get it out.
Then get it out of that plastic coffin. So you-
Yeah. Well, the plastic coffin, you can't get that out. Look at that.
It's a bit
Wow.
faded, but it's still a nice comic. The problem is it was actually the guy that restored it that kind of made it faded, I think. I think when he tried to clean it, it was like, kind of made it faded.
Bill. So what's the restoration on that?
So the restoration includes color touch, pieces added, tear seals, reinforced, reglossed, staples replaced, and top right edge trimmed. So they did everything to it. They were just basically said, let's rebuild it. They kind of did the Bionic Man on this comic. So yeah.
It's beautiful. And Jerry actually mentioned this in one of his videos. He's in the chat, Jerry the Jitterbug comic collector, that people wanted restoration prior to CGC. It was actually sought after a little more. It wasn't, maybe not everybody, but it wasn't vilified as it is now.
Yeah, the funny thing is people used to buy like some kind of semi-decent comic and then they would get it restored professionally. That was the way you did it back then. I remember during the 80s and 90s, that's what people did. So, yeah.
Well, with real art and Michelangelo paintings, those things have been restored multiple times to some extent with cleaning and just little things added or whatever. But so yeah, that's beautiful though. I mean, that's the first Silver Age Marvel comic. You can't go wrong with that.
Yeah. And then
Kirby's.
I think
I see what you got there.
And this is a signed one with Stan Lee's signature. He signed it on the inside, so it's kind of interesting.
Yeah. Well, back in the day, again, they didn't like signing on the cover. They liked signing inside.
Yeah, I didn't like it either personally. I don't like when they sign it on the cover too much.
I mean, that cover is great. Such a beautiful yellow cover, and the story's funny too. If you've ever read it, it's a great story.
I've read the first like series, like the first first 20 of the comics.
The main thing I remember of that is the scrolls are turned to they're cows in the end, and they forget their scrolls, and they live off the rest of their lives as cows.
I think that's so funny. Like that's such a crazy, almost torturous way to deal with your enemy.
It's awesome.
And they brainwash them, right? So they
that cover is one of my favorite Fantastic Four covers. Though.
The yellow covers are awesome, actually.
Yeah, they don't have the costumes yet. Just the Kirby greatness there.
Yeah. So speaking of costumes, that's the next one. So
man, that one looks so nice too.
It would have been a higher grade, but somebody took a little piece of it. Can you see that? So if it wasn't
in a way,
a really high grade, actually.
Well, when they take a little piece like that, the rest of it's probably really pretty to get a 3.0. So you could say that's a really nice looking 3.0.
Yeah, it's quite solid actually. So, but yeah.
That's beautiful, man.
And then my sort of piece de resistance, sorry, is this one.
Oh yeah. Dude.
This one was a beast to get. It was so I won this book so many times, and then when they saw that I was in Canada, they said, "Oh, sorry, can't send it to Canada."
Are you serious?
Seriously. Actually, I won a higher grade. I think it was like a 2.0 or a 3, or maybe it was I think it was under 2,000. It was just 1,900 at the time. And
so you won it on eBay, and the eBay seller wouldn't.
And they wouldn't send it. So I was so sad. I was like,
what was the reasoning? Could you just say I'll spend a little more for?
Yeah, I said I would do whatever. I even have family that lives in the U.S. I said you could send it to them. They just canceled the order and then they wouldn't even reply to me.
Wow.
Wow.
I was like, what? It doesn't even make sense, So this one, the guy was a little bit more reasonable, I think. So send it to me. So yeah. So those are some of them. And
you can't go wrong going for a Fantastic Four, Ron.
Yeah, so
right.
For real.
All my Fantastic Four, I'd have a huge stack. But I picked what I'm doing is I pick all the key issues first, and then I get the run fillers. If that makes sense. It's sort of a weird.
That is exactly what I do. Actually, that's exactly what I do.
So
because they're the
hardest.
hardest to get.
Yeah, exactly. And then
Yeah, I mean,
short fillers are usually pretty easy. So yeah, that's
Right.
kind
I
of
think that's just
I
smart.
get the cheap ones.
yeah. I mean, if you're not planning on getting the really expensive ones, get the filler. But if you really want the run, you should aim for the big one first, is the way I look at it.
yeah, that's why I see it too. So what kind of I should show some more stuff. Actually, I want to do this one, which is kind of funny because I screwed up when I talked about this before. I got to show this. It'll make sense once I show it. If anyone watches my channel, they know that sometimes I say the wrong thing. I just don't. I'm like, I pretend to be like this expert, but then I like totally mess up when I say things because I just have one of those mind freezes.
No worries.
I blame it on my rum.
I kind of want to show two books. So in one of my videos, I was talking about Baron Zemo, and I accidentally said, oops, this one. I said that this was Baron Zemo.
Oh, Baron Mordo is what you mean.
Baron Mordo, right? I got them mixed up. I don't know why. So I was thinking this.
Well, annoyingly, does it say it's the first appearance? Because CGC does not say it's the first appearance on a lot of it.
So on this one, it says first appearance of Baron Mordo. So
I have an old version of that, and it doesn't have him as being the first appearance on it.
Yeah, I mean, this is still a key. It's like a pretty major one. It's the second appearance of Doctor Strange, and it's his first appearance. The Baron Mordo is probably going to be like he's going to be in the next Doctor Strange, and he's maybe going to be the bad guy as well. I believe. I'm not sure about that, but don't quote me on that. But I think so. So,
Gentlemen, I gotta run. I got some technical difficulties happening.
All right,
Okay,
dude.
Deuce.
All right, I'll talk to you guys later.
Jump back in.
All right, I'll try to. We'll see. Cheers.
Cheers.
Now
bud.
you're talking Zemo.
Yeah. There's actually another comic that I also have that is the first, like sort of tied first appearance of Dr. Zemo, Baron Zemo. I didn't bring it, but there's another comic that also has the first appearance of Baron Zemo. It's somebody probably knows it. It's the one which is Sergeant Nick Fury, and like that one. I think it's number 8. That also has the first appearance of Baron Zemo.
Does it really? I didn't know that. I didn't know there was a dual first appearance on him.
There's a dual. I'm not sure which came out first in terms, like technically first, but they.
The Howling Commandos 8 or the.
Yeah, Howling Commandos number 8. I believe it's number 8.
Okay. No, I didn't know that.
Check, but I'm pretty sure it's number 8. I have it down in my man cave. So.
Yeah.
Like that little fun thing.
There you go. There you go.
So yeah. And what were we gonna say?
Bill in the chat wants to trade his Savage Dragon 1 for your Fantastic Four 1. He's he's feeling like he made it, but maybe you're up for that trade.
Yeah, it's not. If he throws in some other books, like
add Wildcats 1 and Spawn 1, and you might get
exactly right. How many copies of Spawn 1 can you have?
Yeah, I think I have 3.
Yeah, I even have like for Spawn they came out with that the first 5 issues collected, and like it was like not a collect, like it was like in a plastic case, and they were all like all supposedly mint, and it was like in a plastic case that you could
like
get.
A poly bag.
It wasn't a poly bag. It was
wasn't a poly.
It was a hard case that you could get with the first 5 issues. I left mine out in the sun a bit, and it just like it's like the plastic is like breaking apart. So, yeah, it's kind of weird. It's Spawn number 1. That's one of the weirdest comics. I actually did a top 10 modern comics, and Spawn number 1 actually appeared in the top 10 because some idiot paid like $10,000 or some crazy amount for a Spawn number 1.
Wow.
Yeah, where it was like a 9.9, but there's actually like 8.99s on the census or something like that.
I think 9.9's a scam because you literally move the slab over here and knock it. It might just blunt the edge. The odds of breaking that open, resubmitting it, and it being a 9.9 again, I feel like is infinitesimally small.
Yeah, I almost feel like when you buy like a 9.6 and then you say, well, if I just press it, it'll be a 9.8. I feel like if you buy a 9.8 and just press it, you'll get a I feel
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
so. Yeah, I'm not really like a big I'm like if you watch my channel, you'll probably realize that I don't mind buying low grades. I just want to have the comic.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that about you. I feel like the 9.9 is sort of like when what's the rock and roll show where they had this speaker goes up to 11 instead of 10. It was from Spinal Tap. This is
Yeah.
Spinal Tap. Remember how he's showing them all his speakers and he's like, this one goes up to 11.
Yeah.
The guy's like, is it actually louder? And he says, it goes up to 11.
Yeah.
You know?
I
That's a
love how the drummer
9.9.
always
It's nonsense.
died. Yeah, I love how the drummer always died, right?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so
Great.
that was a great movie. Yeah, I like Spinal Tap. That was funny. Probably
Wanna show
anyone
off?
that's under 30 probably would not know that movie.
Well, we're all safe on that, probably, right?
Right,
You
right.
look younger than the rest of us, but
Yeah, no, actually, I'm pretty old. I was born in '73.
you're younger than me.
Oh, okay. Okay, good. You old guys, I don't know.
Yeah, we're the old timers here.
I'm
Yeah,
a
right.
young whippersnappers. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay,
You got
so
some more you want to show?
yeah, I brought a ton of books. So
Oh yeah, we like
Go
looking
ahead.
at comics, man. That's why we're here.
Right.
so I'm gonna give you some more. I figure this one's a good one to show.
Oh yeah, Bernie
Again,
Wrightson.
Again, it's like one of those situations where I don't mind if it's like restored. So this one actually, it's not really super restored. It just has like a very slight amount of color touch. It's just, I think it was in the like a little bit in the purple. They put just a dab or something. It's really dumb. But
If you're looking at the long ball for comics, I think restored is going to be less of an issue as time goes on, just because these things do deteriorate somewhat. And I don't know, it maybe for bronze and silver, because that's technically a bronze still, right? That's like
yeah, it's just barely bronze.
right.
At that cusp of the silver. It's 1971, right? So
Such a beautiful Bernie Wrightson cover.
it's one of my favorite covers of all time. I just love that whole like the monster coming in from the background. It's a great story too. The monster is actually the one that's the good guy.
Yeah.
He's the one. He's actually coming there to save her.
That's right. She has an abusive.
Her husband's gonna. So it's just. It's it's like that whole misconception thing, and like there's just so much kind of going on with this cover. Like I like a cover where it's a beautiful cover, but also tells a story. Do you know what I mean? Like there's like you can almost sense what's going on, with the whole story. I think it's quite brilliant. So
Agreed.
One of my favorite covers of all time, actually.
Absolutely,
so I'm going to be doing another top 50 list. And this is going to be on that top 50 list of my top favorite comics of all time. So
your last top 50 was more your most valuable, and this will be more your favorite, or?
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of do it this is my way of cheating because I have so many books that I love that what I'm going to do is say this new top 50 list is only going to be books that weren't on the previous list that I really love. So it's sort of my way of getting 100 books instead of 50, because actually my top 50 list of most expensive books. Well, most of those books actually I really love. That's like the X-Men 1 and Hulk 181, the All Stars 8. All those books are kind of pretty major to me. I love those books. So actually, I brought some of those top 50 here just to show.
Yeah.
So I'm going to show you. I love Wonder Woman. I'm not sure if you guys are keen on Wonder Woman, but I don't care.
I just traded one of my favorite Wonder Woman to someone who really wanted it, and it's hard. It hurts. That's amazing.
I wish I could get it out of the
Take
bag.
it out of the bag. Come on.
I got to figure out how it taped so well. It's like crazy the way it's taped. Okay, wait. They taped it.
Now it's harder to tell with CBCS. Is that restored or is that a?
This is restored. Yeah. This, if it was not restored, is
Would be very expensive.
$120,000 book.
Yeah, I figured.
Just to give you a sense. Even in this restored version, it's about a $20,000 book.
Yeah. What a beautiful cover. And it's, you know, I love war covers, and that's a Wonder Woman war cover as well. So it's like,
it's also a very iconic scene, right? It's like if you think of the first Wonder Woman movie where she picks up the shield,
yeah,
and, and she kind of goes out into the no man's land, and then she gets on, this is just kind of that whole venturing into that no man's land, and
yeah. And it looks like World War I. I mean, they're on horses, so I don't.
Yeah, it is World War
Yeah,
I.
so it's a.
And
beauty.
I've read the story. Like I read all these comics. I just read it digitally. I'm weird.
Well, that's an easy way to do it. It's without ruining a golden age
I
cover.
can't break it open. So
I have de-slabbed comics twice on air by just ripping it apart. Please don't do it for that one.
Right.
I did it for my Tor #1 Kubert 1976 comic that's worth about $20. So
okay, that's okay to do it with that. But,
yeah.
Just
Beautiful
to get
comic.
just to get this graded is like $1,000.
Wow.
So I'm not gonna open it up for you. Sorry. But the story of it is actually very similar to the very first movie.
Yeah.
It's really weird how that is. It's like, they didn't really have to write much to make the movie, the first movie, which was the better of the.
Wonder Woman to me is definitely one of DC's best productions for sure. I mean, there's just it's a beautiful movie. That's a beautiful comic, man. Thanks for showing that.
Yeah, so I figure I'll keep with the Wonder Woman thing a little bit longer.
Okay, yeah. Now you're going down a grade here, just with she's not on the front, so.
This is not as good in condition, but it's a bit more major. It's actually more expensive than the other one.
Yeah.
This is All Stars 8. This is Wonder Woman's first appearance.
Yeah, what a great, wow.
Yeah, so
Don't you know that one, Man Cave?
I do not have that.
Yeah, it's
beautiful.
It's probably my most prized comic.
Yeah. I mean, even though some people say, "Oh, that's not a great cover because it's not Wonder Woman," it's still a beautiful cover. I mean, that is a great. It's not, it's not a great Wonder Woman cover, but it happens to be Wonder Woman's first appearance, and it also is an amazing. Look at Spectre, and it's just a beautiful cover. I mean, there's no.
Yeah, I think Dr. Fate and Sandman kind of get screwed over, but
yeah, what is that? I never thought about that.
Spectre, what are you doing, man? You're just taking all the room.
Hogging the spotlight there.
Yeah. So the only thing with my copy is like they took a chunk out of the middle.
Didn't you actually do something with that and send it, but resubmit it? Is that?
So what happened was actually it was kind of interesting. The story behind this book is kind of crazy. What happened was my local comic shop guy owned this, okay, but it was not slabbed.
Gotcha.
And what happened was with Wonder Woman, like this is one of those books that you can find, like you can find pretty much every copy and find out the history, like the buying and selling history of pretty much every copy of All Stars 8. So what happened was I looked up the auction history to figure out what's a good price to pay. And this originally sold for as a green label, okay, where CGC gave it a green label and they gave it a 1.5. Okay, so they actually rated it as a lower grade.
Right.
But it was kind of unfair because the reason they called it a green label was they thought that somebody had inserted the centerfold.
They thought they married it?
Yeah, they thought it was married. So it wasn't, like we looked at it, because I actually went to my comic guy and said, well, hey, I looked at the auction history. You said this price, and according to CGC, it was a married comic. Can you knock off a few more thousand?
Yeah.
So actually, he knocked off 4,000 off the price.
And now he's watching this video and he's going to come after you?
Yeah, he's going to come after you. So the funny thing was, he knocked off 4,000. He showed me the comic, though, and we went through it. And I could tell that it wasn't married because the way it was almost like somebody had ripped the centerfold out by accident. And because the way it was ripped matched so you could tell that it was like, it was part of the original comic. And it was even tanned the same way. Everything, it looked like it wasn't truly
It looked
there.
like it belonged. Is it a detached centerfold?
Yeah, so it even says centerfold detached. I'm not sure.
Got you. Okay, so
So
that's
that-
interesting.
That's why the grade. So, but other than I got it pressed and it got that bump. It got a huge bump from the pressing. And it actually, if it wasn't for this cut, I think it would be like a 3.5. It's actually, it looks better than maybe what it looks like on the screen, but it's very solid. The colors are pretty sharp. It's quite a nice grade. And you can see
Wow.
that. I don't know if the back is
Huge. That's huge.
So that was
Thanks for showing that.
yeah. And
Yeah.
then I can do all the standard ones that everyone always does. This is kind of like the standard things that everyone always shows. Whenever somebody shows, hey, I got cool comics in my collection, they always show these ones.
Well, there's a reason.
Yeah. It's sort of like one of those standard ones that everyone shows.
Oh, wow.
This one does have the Marvel Value stamp. So it is complete, but again, it has cover reattached with glue. So I guess it had come off the staples and they reattached it. So that was the issue.
You could, I wonder if you could
Remove the glue.
unrestore that one.
Yeah. So a lot of the restored comics that I buy, I always look for that option where maybe
Right.
you could do something and unrestore it, I guess, if that makes sense. But
Yeah.
so I don't know. I just like the cover. I just think it's
It's
like,
a great, yeah. I mean,
yeah, it's just
if you don't need to, just leave it. But-
yeah. So I
but
think
do it.
it's right in here. I'm not sure if you can see that. That's where the piece
Yeah.
was reattached. So that's
Gotcha.
it. That's restoration. Like
Yeah.
it's not a big thing. So maybe you take that piece off. Oh, now it's a blue label. And it would be like a 4, maybe, right? It's like, yeah,
That's a great, yeah. I mean,
yeah.
that's an iconic comic. Do you have that one, Captain?
I have the True Believers of that one.
Nice.
Yeah, that's every man's version of it.
I do.
Not
I
even
actually got
flat,
that.
so
Yeah,
read it.
I got a more recent rendition. Is that the more recent one? I did get to read that as well. Jerry's giving us some prices here.
Yeah,
Was
so
it
All right.
was it a 3.5 restored, Jerry, or was it just any old
mine's a
restored?
4.5 restored, but yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think like when I bought it, it was like I think I paid 14 or 18, somewhere around there. So it wasn't too bad. And then this one,
Ooh,
one
never seen that one. No.
again, you'll
Yeah,
notice a lot of my comics are restored. That's how I get the more affordable pricing on it.
Yeah.
Um,
Wow.
but yeah, this one was kind of a major one for me. Like I really like
Big
this one.
time.
It's it's I like when the first appearance is also the first cover. Do you know what I mean? Like, cover appearance as well. So
Yeah.
this is, he's kind of doing his whole Hammer thing. So I kind of like that. It's just
And this is the first one you've shown in a while that actually is that, because some would argue Hulk 181 isn't his first
I know.
appearance.
actually, I used
They
to
have a
be,
good argument. They have a good argument because the last page, it's like a big splash page of him saying something. You can see his whole
and
body.
he even
It's like-
says his name. He even says
Yeah.
his, so
yeah. It's,
I-
whereas first Dark Side to me is not the first Dark Side. He's on a
yeah,
video.
he's on TV.
Yeah.
That's
I don't
it.
understand why that's the first Dark Side. The Jimmy Olsen, whatever. I forget which number it is.
It's considered a cameo still. The first
Yeah.
Dark Side. That's Superman, Jimmy Olsen one. Yeah.
Yeah. It should be Forever People One, I think, or.
Yeah, Forever People One. But he's not on the cover of that. He appears,
Right, but he's in it more, I think, inside the.
what's the one? I actually have his first cover appearance. It's
That's New Gods 2, I think.
New
or
Gods
3.
yes, you're right. Yeah, I was trying to think about it. I was gonna say. And then I'll keep on doing the Grail ones so that
Oh, yeah.
just to keep people just keep people.
We're not one of those like, oh, we don't like keys. Captain,
No.
we like it all.
Again, my keys are all crap. they're all in the crap.
I mean, Probably a year ago, that wasn't too expensive. I bet you that comic now is like a 1.5 was a year ago. Maybe.
I know. So when I bought this, I actually overpaid. I thought I overpaid. I paid $1,900 for this. Now this is $3,800.
Wow.
It's so crazy. Like I'm like, what? Like,
X-Men 1 has gone. I mean, to me, it's gotten more valuable than Hulk for the same grade. Hulk 1 and Journey of Mystery 83 for the same grade, which makes me wonder, is it a little overpriced? On the other hand, X-Men were so popular in the 80s.
Yeah.
Like,
So it's,
as a comic, it's hard to, they have some great potential
the
still.
weird thing about this one, the reason I bought it, and the reason I kind of felt like, hey, it's maybe worth overpaying a bit, is it's actually complete. The only reason it's a 0.5 is it's kind of ugly. It's like,
Okay, yeah, that's a rare. So it's a rare 0.5 that's complete. That is,
Yes.
I would get that too.
the only issue is it's kind of, it's kind of
Yeah.
grimy along that edge, but it's complete. And
I don't usually buy incomplete, but I will buy a 0.5 if it's complete. Yep.
yeah, so the issues with this one is it's complete, but it's like the cover and the centerfold are detached. So normally that just makes it like a 2, like where you're kind of, but because it's also ugly, like,
Yeah.
um,
Has some beat up aspects on the little fox.
written on and like,
Still, what a great! I mean, you can see the characters beautifully. It
Yeah.
doesn't really obscure the important part of it.
I just wanted to have it in my collection. This was like, as a kid, you'd always see it like on the comic book wall, and you're like, oh, I wish someday.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was, one of those ones. I wish I had sort of gotten back into comics a little earlier. I only got back into comics deeply, where I kind of go crazy spending, about a year and a half ago.
Yeah. No regrets. You got a beautiful collection.
Yeah,
You're not allowed to have regrets.
So,
right.
I'll show one.
We all could have stories about what we could have done in the 70s, 80s, 90s, you name it. If we
The
only
whale
knew
that
we
got
knew.
away.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have bought 20 issues of Todd McFarlane's Spider-Man 1. Instead, I would have bought a Silver Age comic.
Yeah, there's so many comics that I was one of those kids. Like, I had sort of different time periods where I collected comics. I collected at the worst times always, it seems like. So don't buy comics when I'm buying comics, because it's the worst time. So I bought comics during the early 80s as a kid, but I bought like all these Gold Key comics. I'm not sure if Gold Key.
Oh, I love like Magnus Robot Fighter and Phantom and.
So no. Like Donald Duck, Uncle Snoop.
Oh, okay. The
My parents
cartoon
might be
stuff.
getting like superhero comics.
Yeah.
So the very first superhero comic I got was Howard the Duck #1. That was
Wow.
very first superhero comic. So that shows you like how, like, because that was kind of borderline. My parents could accept that because it looks cartoony. So not
my first superhero comic, I think, was X-Men 100 or Defenders 26. I'm not sure. I do remember both those comics. I'm not sure which one was first. They were the first two, at least. They were. Defenders came out first, so I think it might have been that. But the child memory is not. I was pretty young.
So when I got back, I actually got into comic collecting in the 90s. And that's when I tried to pick up all the ones that I wanted as a kid, like all the superhero stuff.
That's what I have on my wall right now. Not what I got in the 90s.
Yeah, those are all great 90s books. Like,
yeah.
Again, my wife forced me to sell those, so I had them
did.
I had them all in like really high grades, like Amazing Spider-Man 300, the 360.
When did she force you to sell them?
Late 90s.
Oh wow. Okay.
So that was when we were kind of poor, and hey,
Hey, if you needed the money, you needed the money. I hope it helped you.
Also, my wife's Korean, so actually I went to Korea. So she's like, don't, those comics are junk. Just get rid of them. So you can come to Korea. So yeah, it was pretty annoying.
I've told this story before, but just to tell you a similar story, my mother loved comics growing up. She bought Little Lulu, Captain Marvel, Black Hawk, Plastic Man. She'd tell me all about it. She was born in 1940, so she probably had late 40s stuff, mid 40s to late 40s and early 50s.
Wow.
Her older sister, however, was born in 1932 and also loved comics
Oh,
and
wow.
had lots of Batman and Superman comics purportedly. So she was born in 32. So
Wow,
she
that would be
probably
awesome.
had some, she could have had whatever, something really big. Her then boyfriend, who later became husband, said sometime in the 1950s that you're too old for comics and made her get rid of her comics. So
Oh,
who knows? It's all legend. And I don't know what she had, but yep.
yeah, that'd be very sad. Probably like millions of dollars worth of comics.
Yeah, a lot of sad stories.
Yeah. So I
Yeah,
figured I'll
well.
show some more grails. Like, well, kind of
Ooh, okay.
Werewolf by Night. Again, I buy a lot of comics based on shows or shows that are coming out. So they've been talking about like Moon Knight show for the longest time.
Like 3 years, 4 years. Yeah.
Actually, during the 90s, I'm not sure if you remember there were so many comic artists spec at the time in the 90s, like Todd McFarlane. You have to get everything Todd McFarlane. And there was an artist known as Chris Pratt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, do you know the artist? He was
Chris
so
Pratt.
big. Yeah, he kind of
No, maybe not.
really really elaborate drawings. Christopher Pratt. It was I think it's Christopher Pratt. I might be.
Which do you have some comics that he did?
He did Moon Knight. Okay.
Probably yeah. I don't. The name sounds familiar, but it's not.
He was one of the artists that was kind of very full of himself, and that's what destroyed his career. He became sort of like one of those really hot artists. He did like Moon Knight. He did a bunch of other kind of key ones, and then he disappeared. So he was kind of like big and then disappeared. But that's how I originally got into Moon Knight. Was I said, oh, I have to get it because everything's hot, right? So I think he did Moon Knight number 50. I think it's one of his more famous covers. I think that's right. So Moon Knight number 1. This is one of those ones you wanted as a kid,
Oh yeah, that's a beauty.
I had that one and I sold it and got a minivan, but
I think that's actually a pretty good deal.
Then you sold it. It sounds like you sold it at the right time, then, Captain.
right.
That sounds like
Yeah, that's a Udall device.
So and then I can show some. Like I don't just collect like the older stuff. I'll show you some modern keys.
But I like your golden age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I brought a ton to show because I figured, hey, you don't want to be all day.
Yeah.
Young
Professor?
Adventure.
That's a hot one.
Yeah.
It's like probably a 9.8 candidate. I just didn't get it graded yet. So,
Yeah, I missed the boat on that one, so
I got it for $20.
Nice.
And then actually I like this one, even though I thought it would be bad. I thought it was going to be a kind of a crappy story. I actually like the story. So Miss Marvel, number 1.
Kamala Khan.
Yeah, actually.
Kamala Khan, yeah. Yeah,
I
it's
thought,
interesting.
it's going to be like one of those like diversity hire kind of.
Yeah, but they made a good story out of it,
They actually made a pretty good story. So
if it's just trying to virtue signal something, that gets annoying. But if they make a good story, I'm all for it. I don't care what the subject matter is.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I actually like what's it called, Miles Morales.
Oh yeah, Miles Morales is a wonderfully written story.
Yeah,
too.
I think they did a good job. So at first I was a little bit kind of nervous about it because like I thought, they're going to ruin the whole character. Like they did a Batman one that they did that with. I think it was Gotham High or Gotham Academy, where they kind of replaced, instead of Batman being like a American wealthy man, he was like an Asian guy, and his mother.
That's probably a little too much of a switch to me. It's like just make a new character that's interesting and write a story about him. You don't have to, retooling a known character. It gets a little annoying sometimes. I'm with you.
Yeah, so sometimes it's pretty obnoxious, but Kamala Khan, I thought they did well.
Yeah.
Another one of those kind of ones is this one is American Chavez's first appearance.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It's a good Magneto. Is that a Magneto cover? That's Magneto.
Yeah, that's Magneto. It's actually a really great cover. I kind of like the cover. even if it wasn't her first appearance, I think I would probably get it just for the cover. I think I'm a big fan of Magneto. I think he's a very cool
Yeah.
character.
Just because you have good taste and sound judgment.
Yeah. So I'll show you some kind of more like some more of the stuff that I actually really get into is actually I'll show one more of those kind of modern ones just for anyone that collects the modern stuff. Here's my Miles.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I have 2 copies of House of Secrets 92, and I was going to trade a lower grade one for Miles Morales' first appearance, but then the guy I was going to trade it with flaked out. And
I was kind of disappointed by this one. I paid $50 for it, but I thought it was a 9.8 candidate. I guess it could have. I'm not sure what was wrong with it. Like for all the people that complain about PGX, they're actually really hard at the high grades in terms of grading. They're really brutal. Because I actually can't really figure out. There's maybe
I've heard the newer PGX is good. They're more reliable, and I like their new label.
Yeah, so I think there's one like little dent there, maybe on the.
Maybe you should break it open and send it to CGC. They're probably less strict.
I actually heard that CGC at the higher grades has become less strict.
How you doing, Nick?
Go for it.
Welcome to the panel.
Hey, what's up? I didn't even notice I was on. What's going on,
Hey,
guys?
Nick.
What's going on, man?
Luckily, you weren't picking your nose or something worse.
I know, right? Seriously. Blindside me.
Hey, nice to meet you, Nick.
How's it going, man? I'm like nervous coming on because I was like, look at what this guy's putting up. I got nothing.
That's right. It's his show, man. You don't have to.
Yeah.
You don't have to-
I'm just showing.
We just sit here and admire.
There you go.
All right. Drool a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
So I can show some silver or golden age stuff if you want.
I'm a big fan of gold, but I like the silver too.
Okay,
I like the gold.
golden
Show the
age.
gold. Show the gold.
I'll go for gold. I'll go for gold here. One second. The tape on these bags always gets me.
Whoa. First Mary Marvel. Beautiful.
Yeah, First Mary Marvel.
Love that painted cover.
The funny thing is, right now she is more popular than he is.
Is that right?
Yeah, a lot of the younger collectors, like a lot of the younger, she's in a lot of the series. She's in, if you read Deceased, they kind of have her as a more important character. So yeah, she's quite popular. So I don't know, it's kind of cool.
That's great.
And it's nice, it's a good grade too. It's like I find that once it gets into that 3, usually you get a pretty good cover.
Yeah, 3.5 blue label on a golden age comic like that is a big. That's a great.
Yeah,
that's a beautiful.
This is a
Beautiful.
pretty pricey book now.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That would be golden. That would be gold.
That's a good. And this one is not a key or anything. It's just a cover I really like. So I'm going to show you a golden age, but it's just a really kind of cool cover. I just like the cover. It's Wiz Comics. It's like Wiz Comics 71. And I just like these kind of like magic covers.
Yeah. That would be one. All the things coming out of that hat.
Yeah, it's really
Blue green cover.
When I saw it for auction, I had to get it.
I saw that you have the last edition of Wiz Comics where he's getting married too. That's a pretty cool comic.
Yeah, I have that. I should have brought it. I didn't bring it.
I have the Wiz Comic Death cover. You've seen that one? It's like it's like third to last issue.
Oh,
it's Death with a scythe in the front with him. It's
oh,
pretty
wow.
sought after cover.
I'll have to look for that one. Now you add it to my list. My wife will hate you.
Yeah, she probably would.
And I'll go even deeper into the golden age. I'll show you my Donald Duck.
Very cool.
Look at that.
Donald Duck's first appearance. And it's actually really cool because it's leather. It's like a leather.
That is cool.
Yeah,
Right.
it's awesome.
And it's quite big. It's like
Magazine style.
Yeah.
When did Donald Duck first get created? Do you know that? Like when was his?
oh, geez.
How old is Donald Duck? 1920.
So I think this is from 1933.
Wow.
So, you're looking at early 30s. So yeah. So this is
Nice.
and it wasn't actually that expensive, like, compared to
Right.
some of the other things. Like it's all
I mean,
relevant, right?
If you're in the golden age, Walt Disney comics and cartoon comics and Western comics are pretty good priced. If you think, they might go up. Who knows? Like Pre-Code
Yeah.
Horror did or something. But
So you can pick this one up for about $300,
yeah,
which
Why
is
not?
insane if you think about it. It's, Donald Duck, kind of a major. I think he's a major character. I think in
Yeah.
terms of Disney franchise.
just a touch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he might get banned here pretty soon because he doesn't wear pants. But
Yeah.
Yeah. I should send it, right?
He,
No
he
joke.
kicks Howard the Duck spot.
yeah, right.
It's sort of fun. There was actually, I told you that my first major comic for like the superhero kind of comic was Howard the Duck. And there's actually a controversy where the reason, if you read any of the Howard the Duck ones, he wears pants. Okay, and the reason they did that, Disney sued Marvel for Howard the Duck because they said you have to follow all these rules to make him look different than Donald Duck. So they basically forced him to wear pants. He had to look certain different. Like he had to have a face that was more like square.
Yeah.
All these
Interesting.
kind of weird things, and his eyes couldn't be too big. It was all these weird things where they sort of had this compliance that Howard the Duck had to do. So one of the things was pants. He had to wear pants. So there's actually a very funny Howard the Duck comic where it's literally, the comic is about him going to a tailor to get pants because everyone's getting mad at him for not wearing pants. And the tailor, I think, is called Disland or something like that. Like it's like where it's like really
They're
really
poking fun at the whole situation. I love it.
it's quite cute. It's pretty. I have the whole run of Howard the Duck, so I'm geeky that way. So I living up to my name, right? So
Right.
So yeah, so I'll show you one more. This is Silver Age that I thought was kind of a cool. I'm not sure if you guys like Suicide Squad. do you guys
What's that?
like Suicide Squad?
Oh yeah.
Life does.
This is kind of
Oh yeah. That's a hot book right now. Yeah.
so. This one, I'm a big, as I said, I collect based on movies and stuff like that. So I try to get every character inside the next Suicide Squad. So actually, I just over the weekend got the first appearance of the Thinker. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that one. That's All Flash Comics number 12.
Oh, wow.
It's a pretty major comic. I got it in a high grade too. So I'm kind of looking forward to that one. But this is the first appearance of the Peacemaker. And it's kind of cool. It's a really
That is
hard to
really
find
cool.
comic. Really hard to find comic, especially in the high grade. These Charlton ones, they're always beaten up. I don't know why.
Yeah.
They're always beaten up. There's something about them. I think kids just they thought, oh, it's not Marvel, it's not DC. It's just this is mangle the crap out of it. So it's really hard to find these in high grade. So
That's beautiful.
it's one that I got. I was quite happy, and I got it before all the hype.
Yeah, I was about to say, did you get it recently or okay? So that
Right.
Last year.
it wasn't an expensive comic.
Yeah,
a few
it's
months
still-
ago.
It's still pretty expensive. Like it was like around 300, I'd say.
Okay.
But now I think it's like maybe $1,000 comic. In that grade.
Yeah.
So I'll show you some more cool stuff. I'll go back into the Golden Age a bit. These are kind of weird Golden Age ones. I really like Smurfs. So this is the first appearance of the Smurfs.
Oh wow.
The Smurf.
This is a French magazine, and so this is like where they actually are on the cover. So you can see.
That's where the panels are. Yeah, some of the comics in the GoldenAge were done that way, where
Right.
So this is
they're
called Spirou. I speak a little bit of French, so I can read these. This is from I forgot what year.
Yeah.
1947. So this is the first appearance of the Smurfs. Like this is the first cover and the first appearance. So,
yeah. I I have a Golden Age Silver Streak that's very similar. It has all the panels. That's the front
Yeah,
cover.
yeah, they kind of like that style for a little
Yeah.
while. These are kind of magazine style a little bit. Actually, Spiro was one of those comics like from Belgium, where they a lot of when you think of French characters, they all kind of made their first appearances in Spiro, like Asterix,
1010.
yeah, all those ones. So yeah,
Those are great.
yeah, I kind of like them. Another one, kind of Silver Age, that I kind of like. Again, I'm into this, like, I don't know, my parents kind of affected me, so I kind of like the kids' books, right? It's kind of like
Look at that.
first appearance. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Gold Key.
Yeah.
What year is that one?
I believe it's 65. I wrote it on the back, so I remember. So,
Gold Key has some great comics, actually. For,
Right.
you know, for Silver Age stuff, just fun stuff. The Dr. Solar, Man of the Atom, Phantom, Magnus, Robot Fighter, and some of the cartoon stuff.
yeah.
Scooby Doo.
Yeah. So yeah. So I was quite happy. This is not, believe it or not, like when I saw it as a kid, well, not when I was truly a kid, but in the 90s, this comic was a pretty pricey book. You can actually buy it now cheaper than when it was back in the 90s.
Really?
Kind of weird. Back then I think they had just put out the movie, so it kind of spiked, right? And so I'd always see it, but it was always like at that time I was like in university, I was a bit poor. It's either eating or buying comics. I'd usually buy comics, so that's why I'm so skinny. But
Yeah.
this one was
Right
always
choice.
that was on the wall, and it was like, how many days could I go without eating? So it was really pricey at the time. This was like
You just thought of a new diet for me.
Yeah,
right.
I think, I've been getting a little hefty, but yes, man.
Yeah.
Food
So
or comics.
This one was about $100. So
Wow.
that's bad considering I think Astro Boy is a reasonably famous character. Yeah, kind of a cool one to get, I thought. And I'll show you one sec here. Another kind of I get a lot of stuff that's from TV shows or shows that I really like. And this one was a show that I really like. And that's
Oh yeah.
right now.
I was just watching the most recent episode before this show, actually.
I really do. You like it? I think it's an awesome show.
Yeah.
I watch
They're pretty-
it with my
They're
son.
pretty close to the comic too. They're holding true to it.
The order is a little bit mixed up. I have
Yeah.
like a few of the first issues of Invincible. I got it when it was still cheap. Like these, I got like a year or two ago. So
Yeah.
now these are
Invincible's one of
Yeah.
the few things I almost have the full run of, actually.
oh wow.
And
There's
it's
like a few issues that I want to get. I want to get the first
Yeah.
piece of Alan the Alien kind of guy. Because
yes.
and then I want to get the first appearance of Monster Girl. Those are the two issues I'd really like to get. So,
Well, sadly, I say I have almost a full run, but I started collecting when it was around issue number 13. So I have like 13 to 100, whatever it is. And then I bought that, and I have like 3 out of the first 12, but I never really went around to getting it all. Now it's all gotten expensive, probably. So
yeah, so
I have that one though, at least. So
yeah, so like I was watching the series with my son, right? My son's like 11 years old, so there's some bit graphic.
it's a little brutal, but
So he likes the scene where Omni-Man is like destroying their Justice League kind of people.
Yeah.
He squishes their brain. The brain.
Yeah, because before that it seemed like just a nice sort of
it's nice,
milk
like,
toast superhero
wholesome-
cartoon.
Yeah.
And then that's when they let it out of the bag that this is going to be a little more brutal.
Right.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah. So the funny thing is, like, most of the time it's pretty innocent, pretty tame, right?
Right.
So, just on Friday, I go to watch it with my son, and my wife was there. So like,
Big mistake. Yeah.
watching with him, it's like blood going all over the place. It's like,
I've heard that from my wife a few times in my life, I'll tell you.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah, at some point I was watching Scarface a few years ago, and I was like, Right when there's like a big pile of cocaine and he's like throwing his face in. I was like, oh, okay, boys.
So yeah,
Yeah.
so
Bad
Yeah.
dad.
yeah, I'm always the
That's
bad
right.
dad. So I'm having a bad influence on them. So
Yeah.
but I really like the series. That's like as I say, I buy things based on series that I like, and I really like that writer actually, Kirkman.
Kirkman's great. Walking Dead and that one. And
So yeah, so I figured, hey, in that theme.
oh yeah.
Nice.
And the funny thing is, this one I got pretty cheaply. Well, again, all matter of
And
perspective.
that comic still has value, doesn't it? I mean, because
Oh,
if there's
yeah.
one thing I've been hearing for a long time is, oh, you should have sold your Walking Dead one. You know,
Right.
multiple people have told me that, and I'm like, well, I didn't buy it for much, and I like it, and I wasn't planning on flipping it anyway. But
Mhm.
every time I look, it's still not exactly a cheap comic.
No, it was kind of weird. So I kind of bought it right in between when I guess everyone was told that they should sell their Walking Dead, right?
Right. So you got it then.
I got it right then. And so what happened was this was normally like a $2,000 book in this grade. In this grade, like a higher grade, obviously it's even more. But I got it for $1,000 because what happened. Everyone was told, hey, you got to sell your Walking Dead. So I
Right.
was, I was ready to put down $2,000 on it because I really wanted it. It's it's a series that I liked, except for I only watched the first 6 seasons.
Yeah.
And then I found that it kind of got a little bit.
Yeah, that's about where I dropped off too.
Yeah. So, I thought it was kind of weak after that point. So but I liked the first ones. Like I really liked that first season. That was just like, I liked Michonne. I liked, that early stuff. It was just,
Yeah, I have a few of those. I have that one and 19, which is the first Michonne, and those are
I have, in my basement, I have the first Michonne. That's something that's going to be in my top 50 list.
yeah.
Mhm.
No, and I won't say I have a close to the full run, but I have a good amount of them, probably 90%.
Yeah. So what I do is sometimes I don't buy the full run. What I'll do is just get the keys that I really. So with The Walking Dead, it's one of those things where I try to get all the first appearances of the characters I like Michonne, the governor, all those kind of key characters that I think are cool, right?
Yeah, that's awesome. I read them all by volume. I have all of those, but to me, so that's so much cooler, knowing that you have literally the page where I have I got to figure out which page is which volume, is which issue per volume. It's impossible.
Yeah. So I thought Walking Dead was quite good. The strange thing was it came out how many years ago? It came out 5 years, 6 years ago, 7 years ago.
Walking Dead comic?
No, the TV series, maybe 10 years
Oh no,
ago.
that's 2012
Maybe
or something.
10,
13.
So-
It's a while back now.
So my wife complains about us, my son and I watching, Invincible, but we actually, as a family, when they were just little kids, we watched Walking Dead, and I have young kids, they're 5 or 6 years old. They would just run around pretending to be zombies or shooting each other in the head or something. I totally destroy them. I figure my the bills that I'll have to pay in the future for therapy and stuff will be but
just tell them they can blame me for whatever they want up to age 21. They got to move on.
yeah,
Right.
That's what I tell my kids all the time. I don't want to hear any belly aching after 21.
yeah. But we loved The Walking Dead. We'd all watch it as a family. We'd go around acting like zombies. I really liked one kind of zombie. Do you remember in the very early series, they would always have certain key zombies, Bicycle Girl,
Yep.
And they'd have the guy that was in the well that was kind of floated.
The Well Walker.
Yeah. So they had all
I like the Carl Lewis one, the one that was going real fast and almost jumped over the fence.
Exactly. So they really got into that back then, but in the later series they didn't. In the later episodes, they really didn't get into that. I like the zombies, whereas the later things were more about the people being the problem.
Yeah.
I think that's when they lost it. I'm a Night of the Living Dead kind of fan. I like that whole zombie apocalypse.
So I'm right up that alley. I love 28 Days Later. I like the reboot of the Night of the Living Dead when they're the sprinting zombies, but I also like the black and white original Night of the Living Dead that was done in low budget. That was a great movie
Right.
too. Yeah, they're all.
Like my daughter used to, she used to watch that over and over again when she was a kid.
Yeah,
And I think it was kind of cool because the guy survives. He does it. He survives everything, and then they shoot him.
yes.
It's just like
And-
so brilliant ending. Like yeah, I really liked Ramiro. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
pretty
that movie hit me. I mean, my dad actually took me to a movie theater to watch. It was like some little theater where they were showing old movies, and I just remember just being blown away by it.
yeah. Obviously, before my time, the actual release of that movie.
Yeah, no, me too. It was sort of a redo, obviously.
Yeah. But
I'm not that old. I'm older than you, but not that much older.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe Captain's seen it then. Captain, did you?
Yeah,
Back in the
probably.
day,
a little
yeah,
nickel
did you-
show I got back in the day, a little nickel
I think
show.
it's like 1968, something like
Yeah,
that.
it was before. Yeah, it was.
Something in that time frame. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what else? I got one more. What else? I got a couple more to show. I figure I
Show
show.
away.
So another TV series that I liked.
Ooh,
That's awesome.
yeah.
I actually should have brought my X-Men number.
Thank God you didn't show the White Vision. Otherwise, I'd be annoyed at you right now.
I know, right?
White Vision. I should have brought that too, just to.
That's great.
Yeah, I really like the Vision. I actually got this not because of WandaVision. I got it before, even
Well, because
they-
it's Vision. I mean, that's good enough in its own right.
Yeah.
Plus, it's a badass cover if there ever was one. I mean, that's just
Yeah.
a great red cover.
Yeah, one of the weird things about Vision is I liked him in his very first appearance in like Age of Ultron, which is a movie not many people liked, but I actually liked that because he
I
just
loved it.
he seemed like this overpowered kind of guy, but at the same time he had Jarvis inside of him and kind of had that sort of weird balance, right?
Yeah.
And the weird thing was he was like this super powerful guy in Age of Ultron, but in the later movies, in Endgame and all these other things, what was he? He was kind of wimp.
Yeah.
That is kind of weird. I don't know why.
Or writing, because the reality in the comics, Vision's really powerful too. He
Yeah,
can stand toe to toe pretty much. He's no joke. Yeah.
Yeah.
But in the movie, it was really Wanda who was kind of saving his butt half the time. It was
Yeah.
it's really weird. I didn't like that aspect. I'm not sure what you guys thought about that, but yeah, I kind of.
It didn't occur to me, but now that you mention it, now I'm thinking about it. Thanks a lot. Now I have a negative view of it. No.
I like those movies.
But you're right. You're right.
Those are some of my favorite movies, Endgame and Infinity War. But
Yeah.
it just bothered me that the Vision was kind of wimpy. I don't know. He just didn't seem as cool as he should have.
Yeah, they had him get injured early in Infinity War, and that was it. It was like he was done. I hate that hurt.
Yeah.
That was annoying, and I found the whole Hulk being afraid to come out a little annoying too.
Oh, I didn't care one bit
Yeah.
about that. I thought
Yeah,
that
it's
was a
like,
big
come
part
on,
that
it's the
nobody
Hulk for
needed to
God's
know.
sake.
So
He
the weird thing was-
doesn't cower for anybody. I was annoyed by that.
So one of the things I heard was there was all those spec things about that where there was this whole thing. Was it Loki that was actually pretending to be the Hulk, right? So that was one of those things that they kept on saying. Oh, it's really Loki, but it didn't turn out to be that. So weird.
Yeah, there was that, and they talked about when how when you snap, they snap the Infinity Stones that they have that saw some vision, and apparently the Russo brothers kept saying oh, we wrote it out where Banner and the Hulk had a conversation, and I was literally like, you ruined him in Infinity War, so I do not care what they talked about. It's unfortunate, but I was just like, nope, I don't care.
Yeah. But yeah, I like Hulk as a character. I have his first appearance. I didn't bring it, but yeah, I have his first appearance downstairs. But yeah, if you watch
Just another minor Silver Age key you got there.
yeah, it's just a microphone. I use it as a paperweight.
Yeah, you just have that in the bathroom for a bathroom.
It's his
reading.
bookend on one side.
Yeah, bathroom reading. Yeah. So
That's funny.
yeah, actually, in this, I'm going to show one more comic that I thought was
You
kind
can
of cool.
show whatever you want, bud.
Oh
That's
yeah,
sick.
now again, Raphael one. Yep.
This is one of those ones that drives me crazy because I paid too much.
Oh,
But I could have gotten it really cheap. I could have gotten it for $50, and I thought, $50 is too much. And then years later, I paid like $300 for it. So
Yeah.
it's like one of those things where you think, it's not going to go up that much.
Yeah.
But then,
the Turtle comics they were the canary in the coal mine for going up in price. They went up quite a bit.
Yeah.
It's
I always
insane.
wanted number one, but I can never find a number one. It's like that's
You like Heritage Auction. I saw one on Heritage years ago, and I was like, I bid on it a little bit of one, and it was like a 8.0, and I was like, it's too much. Knowing what I know now, I would have definitely gone for that.
Well, actually, I as a joke on Heritage Auctions, what I'll do is sometimes I'll bid on really big books just to have that things where I said, hey, I bid on that. I could have won.
Yes. and you also get notifications in your email, like the notifications,
Yeah. So
your status.
So I'll bid on these big books. So actually, the reason I won Spider-Man #1, Fantastic Four #1, all these kind of big books was actually I bid on them thinking that I wouldn't win, that it wouldn't go for that price. And it actually did. I was like, oh my God, that's
happened to me a few times, and I'm like, oh shoot, I won.
but there's one option where I bid on like 5 really big books, just as not as a joke, but as like something, hey, if I could get it for this price, I'll mortgage something or sell one of my kids. And I actually won every single one of them. Every single one.
That's where you're like, okay, how do I talk to my wife about this?
And I got this bill. It was like $20,000. I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? So
the cashier's check, please.
So it was really funny though. But so it was really cool to get all those cool books like in a box. I was like so paranoid. This is going to be the box that they lose in the mail or something like that. It's like, it was very scary. But I was so excited when those came. Especially Spider-Man #1. I thought that was a rather cool book.
That is a big book. I mean, although it's just a second appearance, but it's
I have
Spider-Man's such a big character that his first in his own title is huge. It's just no.
Yeah, I also have the Amazing Fantasy #15 as well. So it's good to have both, right? Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Just in case you there's that controversy, which is the first.
I would say that's the first. You're not getting an argument from this crowd.
Yeah. So
can I hold that for a minute? You're 15.
My AF-15 actually I got at a reasonable price. Like it was still expensive, but it's a 3.0, but the coupon is clipped.
So it's a green label.
Yeah, so it's a green label. So
still,
I'm happy with it. Hey,
big time.
You can't tell that it's a.
It doesn't interfere with the story.
The cover is beautiful, right? So And if it's in a slab, do you really care that there's a stamp missing? It doesn't impact story. It doesn't, So
some collectors find a problem with that, but you'd find someone who would love it. So it's
so it's one of the ones where actually I've been noticing. I'm not sure if you've seen this too, but the green labels have really kind of become almost the same price as the blue labels for some books, just certain books. Like I've even seen that with not as much with Hulk 181. Because there are so many without the green label, with the green label where they removed the stamp. But some of the other ones, I forgot which ones, but the Amazing Fantasy 15, I have seen it where, green label, blue label almost sold for the same price, which is crazy to me, because I would actually see it as a cheaper book. But I got it half price, so I'm not complaining. But
I mean, all the Marvel Silver Age comics have gone up in price, so it's like if you have in any grade or form right now, it's not a bad investment.
So if you want, I can still show more books if you're really keen.
I'm down.
Yeah, go for it.
I'll show you some of the stuff in behind me. I'm not sure if you want to see those ones, but there's some really cool ones. You can't actually see my favorite one that's behind me. I'm just gonna kind of roll back here on my
Oh,
chair.
you're all good.
Yeah. This is
Oh yeah,
one of my favorite.
that's a
comics.
famous number 50
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
Oh.
like
headlights cover.
headlights cover, good girl, innuendo art. You know, it's like if you read it, I'm not sure if you can read it. Let's see if I can bring it in. It's kind of suggestive what she's saying. You know.
Yeah.
That's the cover. Wow, I never knew.
Yeah, it's a really great comic. This one is spiking in price right now. It's
Yeah,
really,
that comic has been very hot for a bit now. Yeah, it's
I just picked it up recently actually. So I'm actually going to be doing an unboxing video that probably is going to come out next week or so with this. So you're getting a preview.
nice.
Yes. Make sure you sub them up so you can see all these unboxings.
Yeah, so I buy a lot of comics. If you watch my channel, you'll see that I buy a lot of comics. I always tell people that the reason I'm buying so many comics is I had a really expensive house, okay, which I sold. And now I'm in still a nice house, but I'm mortgage free and I don't have that mortgage. I used to pay it was like about $15,000 a month on my
Whoa.
mortgage.
Yeah.
So it's just so now not to have that mortgage, I'm like, hey, I have all this money.
That's a low grade AF-15 every month.
Yeah. Right.
So I'm buying you can buy a lot of comics with $15,000 to play with every month. So yeah.
Very nice.
So yeah, so
Yeah.
that's why I buy a lot of comics. So people always ask me why, but yeah, that's
And
how
you know, I mean, you can look at it this way: you enjoy it, and they're worth something,
yeah.
right? So it's not like you're just throwing money away. These probably appreciate better than a car and stay at least as valuable as putting in the house.
Or sells, so it's kind of like
You can't visit your stock. You can't like go showing your stock and go, "Oh, look, I got an Apple stock. Check this out."
Yeah.
You know, whereas these you can have fun with. It entertains you. It's art and it's worth something.
Mhm. Yeah. So
So we're enablers.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, my wife won't like you very much, but
Yeah, well,
so I'm going to show you one more kind of cool one.
she's not subscribed to Captain, is she? So you'll be all right.
Yeah. So yeah, you might check this out.
Oh, look at that.
I'm not sure if you guys know what this is, but it is a very cool comic.
Is it a Matt
I
Baker
don't.
cover or?
Don't think so. No, art by Bob. Geez, I'm getting old. Lovers. I'm not sure who the artist is, but actually, I like the cover. Like I always like these kind of Jungle Girl kind of comics, but that's not the reason why it's cool. It's one of the Seduction of the Innocence book.
Oh, okay.
And this one is kind of very notorious because it's like it's one of those ones where they think it's subliminal, where there's like sort of hidden messages inside the comic that are corrupting the minds of kids. So there's inside, like it's an inside panel. There's one where it's like the guy's shoulder, and he thinks the writer of the Seduction of Innocence, Wortham. He basically thinks that it looks like a girl's private parts.
Oh man.
And it's just the guy's shoulder. It's just the way that the guy, the shoulder was drawn, but it's supposed to be like subliminally, like, corrupting kids' minds. So your mind's
He's the one with the twisted mind. It sounds like more.
yeah. He's reading into these things.
I was watching one of your videos. I enjoyed the one where you're talking about. I think it was a Super Duck comic.
Yeah, Super Duck.
And I have a few of those. It's like Super Duck is the Seduction of the Innocent, and because it was touting violence and
violence against rabbits.
Yeah.
But actually, that actually is a really funny one. It's cheap to buy. You can probably pick it up for like $20-$30. And
I have to show you something because you like Super Duck. So if Captain can make me.
Oh yeah, make
I
it
got
big.
Super Duck #1,
Wow.
which is a Hitler cover.
Oh wow,
Hitler and Hirohito there.
Oh, I have to find that one. That's a great.
The cockeyed wonder. I think I had this on the slab slab game, right, Captain? At some point, Matilda didn't like this comic.
So,
No, I like
So,
that. That's awesome.
so when you were showing that, and just because I have them both, just in case you like rabbits, I also have a Super Rabbit #1, here,
Yeah, I have,
which is also a
Hitler.
Hitler cover.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah,
I have Super Rabbit where he's like dressed like Captain Marvel.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're great covers. Look at it. I
So,
got
yeah.
this from my guy Stray Flexen, who's a great guy. If you
How
guys
much
don't,
do those like kind of run?
they're a few $100s each.
That's not bad. That's not. I mean,
But-
considering what they are.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a
And I
lot
got
of-
them from a guy on Instagram named Stray Flexen. If you're on Instagram, Stray Flexen is a very knowledgeable Golden Age guy. He's really
I keep talking to him about jumping on Instagram, you know.
Oh yeah, I gotta jump on Instagram. I'm kind of
just keep it to comics, and you'll be all right. If you start, you know,
Yeah,
it's a rabbit hole of other types, but that's
All
great.
right.
I'm not a big Instagram guy.
Me neither. I literally use it for comics. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually go like I do go on Instagram once in a while, but not that often. Like really
Yeah.
rare.
Promotion. That's what I use Instagram for.
Yeah, it's a good way to just DM people that you know on YouTube as well.
My big fear is buying things through Instagram. You know, like
Well, you just talk to one of us because we know the people who are honest.
Yeah.
If
Okay.
you don't know them, but I know a lot of the, you know, there's people who you just know, or I know for a fact our dealers are really good. Then if it's someone but there are people you don't know, then you just buy something cheap from them and see what happens. But if
Yeah.
you
But,
don't buy a big book.
for the most part, I think the prices are quite high still. I'm not
Depends
sure
on who you're with.
the wrong people, but
Yeah, it depends on, you know, Strayflex and Yaniv. He's very fair. He's very fair. He knows that if he sold it on Comic Connect and things like that, he would be getting taxed a lot more. He'd get a lot more of the buyer's premiums and stuff like that. So he always and he knows his prices. He's one good example. But I've had other people where you better double check. Yeah, and then you go back to them and say,
So I buy a lot of my comics from eBay and my comic shop. That's where I get most of my stuff. To tell you the truth, but like
Yeah, those are
every month I'm getting like a big box from them. You know, where it's like a whole bunch of comics. I'm expecting. I just ordered about 100 comics from them.
Oh wow.
The next one that's coming out. So even though it's express delivery, it takes like a month to get here.
oh, because of the Canada thing.
It's
Yeah.
brutal going across the border. And I'm always
Well, Strayflexen is in Canada, and he sends me stuff from there.
oh
And
really?
He does it FedEx, and it gets to me within less than a week every time.
Wow, that's not bad. So
Yeah.
So actually, when I buy from Heritage or from Comic Connect, when they actually mail it, like Comic Connect, it's when they actually mail it. So
Yeah, that takes a while.
it's usually like a week or a month or two.
Comic Connect and Comic Link. Comic Connect's the worst. They take the longest. Comic Link's better. Heritage is amazing. They're quick.
They'll send it out that day. Almost.
Yeah.
But yeah, the way I do it with Heritage is I'll let I'll buy a few things each day or each week, I should say, from Heritage.
The weekly auction on Sunday.
And then I'll let it build up as a big pile, and then I'll say, okay, send it all to me. Yeah. Just because in Canada we're getting crazy shipping costs. Like I'll pay like $50 to $100 just for shipping.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, it sucks. So,
Yeah.
and a lot of Americans won't ship to Canada. So,
That's
yeah.
interesting. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah.
So like when I got the Archie one sent, the guy was giving me like this one, like he was like the guy that was selling this comic, he gave me the 9th degree. He was like asking like pretty much everything about me, and like, do you have references and all this kind of stuff before he would be even willing to send it to me. It was the craziest thing. I never had that much scrutiny, like just buying a comic.
Yeah.
I'm giving you the money, man. Like, come on, just give me the comic. You know?
Yeah.
He asked, you know, give us references to other sellers that you've bought from, and you know everything. It's just the weirdest thing. It's like
Wow.
Very odd.
yeah, it was like 20.
I mean,
messages.
if you bought it and paid for it, what I don't understand
I know.
what the like you show me your I'm the one who's worried about them. Not the, like
Right.
I've already paid the jabronis. What the hell?
The thing is, I really wanted this comic, so I was like, okay, I'll just do it. I'll just answer his questions because I had that bad experience with the first Doctor Doom where the guy wouldn't send it to Canada. So I was like, oh man, am I gonna get screwed over again where they won't honor the deal just because I'm in Canada? So I was like so paranoid. So I just basically I bent over backwards for them. I let them keep one of my children as like hostage until they sent it.
I wish, man. I got enough. I'd just be like, here, take it. I don't want it back. Give me this comic book.
So so that was the kind of thing. So do you want to see some of the other ones behind me? I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sure, bring them out.
So this one is, I don't know. I like this. This is just me liking covers.
That's a great cover. Yeah.
That's pretty much why everybody likes that comic. It's just
Yeah,
a
right.
cover. Yeah.
And the funny thing is, this one is more pricey than some of the more key actual.
Oh yeah.
It's
Yep.
the weirdest thing. So I was just happy to get it. It's, I don't know. They graded it quite low. They graded it as a 2.5, but to me it looks like a
Wow,
4.
presents really well. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see why it's graded as a 2.5. The only thing that I see that's wrong with it, like only thing, is there's right in here, there's a bent corner. That's the only,
Those square bounds sometimes are split. Is it split along the spine at all?
it's split like I'm not sure if you can see. Like there's like a chunk out of that one corner.
It's
I'm not
probably
sure.
the spine, then. Yeah, it's probably that split, and maybe the back.
It's
They'll
not
they'll
actually-
judge the back cover as heavily as the front cover too. So if the back cover has issues,
But to me,
that'll-
I think it would probably grade at least a 3.5. Like
Yeah.
personally, I'm usually a pretty good judge because the spine isn't split. It's just missing that one piece, and it's like a small piece out of this corner.
That's really nice.
Yeah, and it presents quite well.
Mhm.
I wouldn't complain.
it's actually a
Yeah.
pretty good story too. If
I haven't
I
read
wouldn't
the
say that-
story. I just got.
you've never read the story.
I never read the story. Most of my comics I've read, but there's a few that I buy too much, so I haven't quite caught up with all the stories yet.
It's basically a Loki tricks Silver Surfer to thinking Thor's bad type of story. I think that's about it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the typical. How do we get these two guys to fight?
yeah.
Yeah, sort of
But
like.
it's fun.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Silver Surfer.
I think that's I think that's the most valuable comic just based on the cover that I can think of a Silver Age. Tell me if you guys can think of anything more valuable just because of a cover, not because it's a first appearance or anything. Is there?
Yeah, I can't think of any other. Like this is to me like the one that's like that. Silver Age. I'm just trying-
Silver Age or Bronze, if you want to. I mean, if we can broaden it, but I can't think of anything that's.
Besides 181.
But that's a first appearance, so that's a key.
Well, yeah, but I got it covered.
But I mean, just this is valuable not because
Only for the
it's
cover.
zero key in it. It's just
Yeah, no,
just valuable for a cover.
I mean that Archie one I have, but that's Golden Age.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Golden
it's
Age has a
cool.
lot more of that sort of
Yeah.
fun, famous covers, making it very valuable. Like the Spectre, who's looming over, walking, and the very
Yeah.
giant version. That's like nothing key about it, except for it's an old Spectre, more fun
Mhm.
comics, but it's super expensive just because he has his cape up here like that. And it's just the cover's so iconic. And or Tech 31. It's not a first appearance of any Detective Comics 31.
Oh yeah, Detectives Comics.
It's such an iconic cover. That's more expensive than a lot of first appearances.
Yeah. I was just trying to
So
think.
Golden Age has a lot of them, but Silver, Hulk 340. Which one is that? That's
What's Hulk 340? I have that. What is that? What's that one? 340.
I should know. The minute you say it, I'm going to be like, duh.
I'm gonna pull it up.
What
All
is
right,
it?
you got it. You stumped us on that.
Let me Google
Bill.
first.
Yeah, now I'm.
It's the
I know I have it, but I can't think of what it is.
It
Is
looks
that the
like
Rocket Raccoon?
no, it's Wolverine holding up his blades, but you see Gray Hulk behind it.
Oh yeah, Todd McFarlane. Yeah.
Right.
We see the reflection of the Hulk in his claws.
Yeah, that's
Gray
a-
Hulk. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's big. That's
yeah,
big.
that's purely cover. Also,
All right. Yeah, you're right. I could think. now you opened my brain to
There's a
or
bunch
the
of
or
comic
Captain
book-
America versus Wolverine, the Zek Captain America annual number 8,
Yeah. I
where
was
the
also
sparks are
thinking
flying
Amazing
off the.
Spider-Man 316 would be another kind of one that's purely cover. It's not even
Yes.
Venom's first cover appearance. Like his first cover appearance is 315, but 316 is that more iconic one where he's kind of on top of Spider-Man and
Yes.
fighting Spider-Man.
So you can think of more modern versions for sure, but silver
Yeah.
and bronze. I challenge
Yeah.
the silver and bronze if you can think of a better one. But it's there, I'm sure.
Yeah,
It's just food for thought. Food for thought.
I'll come back. Like once this show's over, I'll be like, I should have named.
Just snapping them all out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the one signed right over your shoulder?
So shoulder.
Yellow label.
One is another Archie one. It's not a big book or anything, but it's just a cool. I just really like the cover. It's like a. Let me take that out.
It's like a dark Archie. What is that? Yeah, I've never seen that.
It's Afterlife with Archie #1.
Afterlife.
It's a variant signed by the who's it signed by? Signed by the artist and the people that did the art, the cover and the interior art. I guess it's
lady.
the cover is by Andrew Penpoy. Penpoy.
It's a cool cover.
Right?
I like these Good Girls.
Yeah, and that's an all black cover. That's a nice cover. I like that.
Yeah, and I like the zombies, so it's kind of a mixture of Good Girl art and zombies. So perfect mix.
Yeah. I've never seen that cover. It's
It's
kind of cool.
Yeah, it's a really great cover. I bought it off of My Comic Shop again. That was when I saw it, I was like, I gotta get that. That's just too cool. And it was a good price. It was like it was less than $100.
Oh wow.
My Comic Shop, they're pretty fair. They have, and if they're comics that are raw, I think they undergrade them a lot of time. They're often better shape than they say they are.
Yeah, that's why.
They're conservative on their grading. They're in eBay a lot of time. It's fine condition. It's not.
Yeah,
But My Comic Shop's pretty reliable on that one.
yeah. That's one thing I'm always nervous about because I'm buying a lot of like major blue chip comics, and to buy them raw, you're always like, if they're off by half a grade, that's like it could be hundreds or thousands of dollars, right? So, that's why I do like buying from My Comic Shop. They're pretty good about the grade, and usually they're grading a little bit conservative actually. But
What else you got behind you?
Okay, so I'm gonna just kind of step up here. I'm
Go ahead.
gonna grab.
I see you got Brave and the Bold 25 there.
Brave and the Bold 25.
That's the first Suicide
Oh
Squad.
yes. Sorry, the one I'm holding. Yeah,
Doobie?
first Suicide Squad. First Rick Flag as well.
Yeah, that's nice.
Very cool.
That's real nice.
I wish I could have gotten a higher grade, but it's just a hard book to get.
DC Silver is hard to get in higher grade than 4.0.
It's a
Just
great.
like you said, like there's some about that mid 50s where kids just rolled up their comics and stuck them in their pocket. or something.
We have to get a time machine and slap the kids around. So yeah, it's to me it's a great cover.
Yeah, that's a beauty.
That monster hand kind of coming out. It's great. So yeah, and then this one's kind of a cool one.
Oh yeah, that's number 1.
Yeah, that's #1. This is the first appearance of Nick Fury. So
That's right.
it's kind of cool. Also, I have his first, like when he's like sort of more of the
As the Agent of Shield, first appearance, Strange Tales.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
forget
Strange Tales. That's another collection that I'm trying to get a bit of a run. Like I'm doing all the key issues first, like but then I'm gonna gradually fill them in. So yeah, so
That's the way to do it, especially the way prices are going. If you've already done most of it, good.
Right.
And then
Because if you did it the other way,
so I got a couple more to show that are kind of cool. I did a video about this one already, but I like this one a lot.
oh, Old Journey of Mystery.
So this one is actually really awesome. Like it's like totally undervalued. I paid $200 for it, just so you know. And it's really undervalued for what it is. Not many people know what this is. Like, do you guys know what this is?
I do not.
It's
See?
a prototype. It's a first prototype of something.
Of something major.
I forget. Is it not a
It's a
I don't know.
prototype. Look at the thing.
Spider-Man?
Man,
Spider-Man.
It's a Spider-Man prototype.
Actual
Wow.
same story too.
Wow.
It's the same.
Really?
So it's a radioactive spider, bites the guy, he becomes a giant.
That's crazy.
It,
I didn't know there was a Spider-Man prototype. Wow.
it is Spider-Man. It is like, it's the same story. And so it's written by Stan Lee. He was like, hey, you know, maybe I should make it a bit more like a Spider-Man. like, so it's the prototype. It came out just before Amazing Fantasy.
Very cool.
Nice. They have a few of those. They have like a prototype
Or
Doctor Doom,
and-
Doctor Strange. Yeah, they have those before Marvel became superheroes, and it was mostly these monster sort of postcode horror type of stuff.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
But this is one I really think it's undervalued for what it is. It's like such a cool comic. It's like it's so silly. Like it's the same story. It's like the spider is stuck in his sock or something like that. Or it's like he walks into a nuclear lab and it's like gets
Which number is it?
It's number 73.
Wow.
I think 78. I'm going to guess is the prototype of Hulk.
I think it's one of
Something in
them.
there. Something in there. Like it's on my.
Because
I'm
the
looking
Tales
for
to
it.
Astonish had a bunch of them. Tales to Astonish,
Maybe it was
All
Tales-
Suspense,
Maybe-
Journey to
maybe-
Mystery. They
maybe it's
had
Tales to
prototypes. They're sprinkled
Prototype
throughout them.
ones, but- Yeah, so to me that one's. I was really excited when I got it. I had the most annoying time getting it too, though. I sent the money by PayPal to the guy, or not PayPal, but Interact. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with Interact. So in Canada, you can email people money.
Yeah.
We can just like, if I want to send money, I can just email, and then they'll take it right out of my bank account and send money to the people.
Very
So
cool.
yeah, so my bank, because I used the guy's handle in the email, like when I sent it to them, and he had like some weird, like kind of cutesy name, like Flaming Carrot or something like that. It was some weird name. My bank thought, this is obvious fraud. So they wouldn't send the money out. They took the money out of my account, but they wouldn't send him the money.
Oh man.
So it was like, did you get the money? Did you get the money? Because normally it's like instant, like you get the money instantly, but it took a month just to get the money to him because I had to explain to my bank that this is a real person. They have a weird name, but just, so yeah.
Oh man.
So yeah, and then the other cool one, I don't know, I think it's cool. I'm not sure. Do you guys like Archie?
Archie,
I
yeah.
still watch. I watch Riverdale still
How
to
can you
this
not like
day.
Archie? How can you not like Archie?
This is another kind of cool Archie one. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with it. Archie's Gals and Pals 23.
Not familiar with it.
So yeah, it's like, it's kind of a weird story behind it. It's a comic that I really, really like, only because I like the movie Josie and the Pussycats. And this is the first appearance of Josie.
Gotcha.
So Josie, I don't know if the movie's fairly old now. It's like, 15, 20 years ago, I think, something like that, right? Josie and the Pussycats. It's not a great movie, but the girl that played Josie, I thought was really cute. So it's purely based on me liking some actress that's not related to the comic, but
Nice. Why not? Why not?
why not get her first appearance? So I thought,
The only thing I don't like about Archie is it's made a lot of cool pep comics super expensive.
yes, yeah.
It's like, ooh, I like that war cover. Then I'm like, ooh, what is that?
Yeah, anything
It's the first
pep is-
appearance of Veronica Lodge, is like Mr. Lodge or something, and you're like, God damn it, who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
It'll
The
raise the
early
price, it'll jack
But
up
the
the
early
price.
stuff were all like superhero. It's
Yeah.
kind of funny because most of them, like Marvel and all those guys, came out of more like the monster or cartoon, and then they went superhero. But
Yeah.
Peppy was the other way around. It went from
Yes.
superhero to actual more.
That's right. Archie got so popular. Shield was pretty quickly replaced right around issue late 30s in the issues. It became totally Archie comics at that point.
It was
Pep
Pep
Comics.
22. With,
Pep 22 is the first Archie, but you don't even see Archie on the cover till like sometime in the 30s. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I thought this was cool. Again, you have to see the movie. The actress is cute. I thought that's the only reason I'm going for this book. Okay, so yeah, I like certain actresses, so I thought she was cute. So just don't tell my wife. I have 3 more back here that I could show if you're really into seeing all these things. I don't know, whatever.
Bring
I
it
like
up,
looking at your collection. I like watching your shows when you unbox things. I'm just like,
Yeah.
So I have a bunch actually.
How long is it going to take you to read those 100 books that you ordered, you think?
I read them pretty quick. I read like maybe about 10, 20 comics a day.
Okay.
So I'll just kind of read them and, I catch up. I'm trying to catch up.
Yeah.
I'm about 1,000 books behind right now. So
Nice.
I'll catch up someday. Yeah, but nowadays modern comics you can read pretty quick, right?
Yep.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of dialogue in it.
Yeah, like trying to read a Golden Age, it's like,
Yeah,
you
it's
gotta
much
set
different.
aside, like a month off, and it's like there's so much dialogue.
I was reading a Submariner comic, and the amount of it was just paragraphs of word bubbles. It was crazy. It was not. It was. I mean, my mind is used to modern comics, and I'm just going, "Holy crap! How much dialogue they had."
If you read any of the EC stuff, they're really bad for that. Like, I'm not bad. I actually like the story, but they have so much word bubble, and then the art is like squished into it. Like
Yes, exactly.
So this one, I'm not sure if you guys will know what this is, but Silver
Is that the last one?
No, it's not the last one. But it's
What issue is it?
Number 7.
Huh.
So it actually says what it is. It's the first
Heir of Frankenstein.
So Frankenstein, I don't know. I thought it was kind of a cool character.
And it's another really cool cover.
Yeah, it's a great cover, and it's a Frankenstein in the Marvel universe. So
Very neat.
he later appears in X-Men.
all right,
Yeah. Okay. I know that cover.
Yeah,
50 or something like that.
I actually have the Frankenstein cover from X-Men in a really high grade, actually. And then this one is just a really kind of cool comic. Like, I like, if you watch my channel, I do a lot of these controversial comics.
Yeah.
Like, where I just think, oh, this is like, something that's totally, messed up. But this one's not that messed up, but it's considered a controversial comic.
Oh, that's cool.
So I'm not sure if you're familiar with Pepe Le Pew.
Can I claim that now?
Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
They're not allowed to show Pepe Le Pew.
Pepe Le Pew's been, along with Speedy Gonzalez, is gone.
I actually have Speedy Gonzalez's first appearance as well. So these are all
Nice.
they're going to be in future videos, so you'll see them. But
My wife's aunt has old VHS one of all the old Pepe Le Pew and Speedy Gonzalez cartoons. They're fun to watch. They're so not politically correct by today.
I hate political correctness.
Me too. I love it.
I really hate it. I just think it's the most.
I have an inappropriate. Are you familiar with this inappropriate cover, Alan? Here, let me.
Wait, show me.
Captain.
Make him big.
Gotcha, bud.
What is it?
Bill Biter.
Oh my
It's Superman. My dying wish is to know your secret identity, and you say you're Clark Kent. It's a lie. And he's sort of, it's just the whole positioning of it and the way he's taking his shirt off. A lot of people find this a little inappropriate. It's a Neil Adams cover.
Oh, shit.
There's one that I'm actually trying to find that's really great. There's a one where it's Starfire, and she's like has him under her foot or something like that.
Starfire does?
Starfire.
Oh, it's I know which one he's talking about. He's like licking her boot. Superman's like licking her boot.
Yeah, I'm trying to get that comic. I think it's like number 271 or something like that. Or
You have Rifleman, don't you? Rifleman 3. I think I saw you.
No, I don't have that. No.
You don't have Rifle. That's a pretty. You've seen that one?
No. I think I know what you
The
want.
wood cover.
Oh yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a photograph picture. You know, it's a
Yeah.
the Alf. If you like inappropriate covers, there's also
I have that coming in the mail.
yeah.
In the mail.
That's a pretty funny one.
And the great thing is, like, I'm not sure. Do you guys know French? Can you speak French?
That's about it.
So the Elf comic is really awesome. Actually, it's hilarious because he's like kind of molesting a seal, right?
Right. Yeah.
And the word for seal in French is fouque,
Oh.
which is kind of funny. So
Yeah.
So so it's got
Nice.
has like triple meanings in there. So it's pretty awesome.
Do you have some of the Archie inappropriate covers? Because there's some famous Archie ones too.
Yeah.
Where
So,
Archie's coming back after fighting off some guys.
yeah. I picked up a few of them.
Yeah.
Some of the Good Girls covers. Actually, remember how I just said earlier that I'm getting a bunch of stuff from my comic shop. They just had an auction like last week where they were selling off Archies, okay? And they were selling off a lot of Joe Montana art. So I picked up a whole bunch of Joe Montana covers from my comic shop. So
Do you do original art too?
not original art, but I'm into original art, but I don't have any of his original art. But.
Okay.
So my wife just told her a famous move that she does on me. She came in here and said, "You're on a live stream, so you can't say no." So I just bought this comic book.
Oh, what comic book did you buy?
I don't know. She just left out of here real quick. I bought this and showed it to me, and then left. Can't say no. You're on a live stream.
So yeah,
That's
There
like
you
her
go.
favorite move.
That's clever.
I know.
So yeah, so I like the inappropriate ones though. I really do. This is one of my favorite covers actually of all time. I just think
I've never seen that one. That's a great cover.
it's a great
Who's
cover.
the
Coming up
artist?
the price really quick,
Yeah,
too.
she's acting like Pepe always does. You know, he's always trying to like molest.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's perfect at the end. And now Pepe the Pew is banned. So oh well, yeah, that's sad. But
Starfire will be canceled next.
yeah. She
How dare she?
there's a lawsuit happening, but I don't know. So yeah, and then this is not a really major one, but you know,
Ah, that's beautiful though.
Is it the first Havoc?
Neil Adams.
it's the first Havoc. Yeah,
First Havoc in costume. There.
yeah,
Very cool.
it's kind of a.
That's
This
gorgeous.
is another one I had, and then it disappeared. I don't know. Like whenever I move, maybe the movers know their comics. They'll, like, so I had this one. I had to buy it again. It's kind of sad. So first Havoc.
Did they bring Havoc in as Cyclops' brother in the comic books initially, or no? Or did Cyclops come second? I don't even know.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know if that was just a movie thing or not.
Robert.
Yeah, the original series, he was the brother. Actually, the funny thing is, if you're into Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, the only trait that Quicksilver really had was his only like kind of personality was, oh, it's my sister. I have to protect my sister. That was his only personality trait in the very first comic with those, with them. I think it's number 4 or 5. 4.
Yeah. Yeah, he's sort of off to the side saying, if my sister is okay with it, I'm suspicious of it. But if my sister is okay with it,
I have to check my sister's honor and stuff like this.
Yeah.
He's a very weak character in the original. But this one's a kind of a weird one. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with this one.
It's the first of that guy there. I forget the name of him.
Dormammu, I think.
No, it's not first Dormammu.
It's just one I had. Like I don't know why I put it up on my thing, but
It's the first. I forget the name. It's a villain first appearance.
Yeah.
It should be on that label.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sir McGrath. That's what it is. Sir McGrath.
Yes.
Yeah. I was
First Dormammu, I think, is Strange Tales 24 or 5 or something.
Yeah, I have that as well.
124, 125.
Yeah, I have his first appearance as well.
I'm gonna have to do another show just so you can show all the other ones that are in the
Yeah.
man cave, you know?
So one of the things that I'm working on, like once I get enough subs, I'm going to do a deep dive in my man cave, where my plan is to actually go through all my long boxes and like, because like the ones that I have slabbed are really just a small, like kind of like a little bit of my comics, but I actually have bigger keys that are raw.
I liked when you pulled out that box the other day and showed all the Wonder Woman and all the, all
and
what
like
you had in there.
fitness and stuff, and
And then you found those modern comics you didn't know were supposed
I
to be.
just mixed
The Ghost Riders.
all these doing, but
Yeah.
So I
I actually pulled out a box. I was thinking maybe I'd do something similar.
yeah. So,
I don't go through my long boxes too often either.
it's one of those things I always want other channels to do it. If you're going to do it, I'd be so happy because I'm always curious what the hell is in those people's long boxes. Like what are their treasures? What's in their personal collection, right? Because there's always those hidden treasures that people have, right?
Yeah.
So one of the things that I'm not sure if I'm going to do a video about this, but it's something that I did collect and that I'm kind of semi-famous for in a way, is I'm actually famous for this. It's something in a previous life almost. I collected Warren magazines. Do you know what Warren is? Warren Publishing.
Like, give me some examples of their magazines.
Vampirella.
Okay, Vampirella, yeah.
Okay.
Eerie, Famous Monsters.
Oh yeah.
So
Eerie, Famous Monsters, and Creepy. I loved all of those as a kid.
yeah. So
The only one I didn't like was Vampirella when I was a kid because as a girl but I loved Famous Monsters was actually my favorite.
Okay.
I loved that when I was a kid.
So yeah,
Wow.
so I have I think it's the only one in the world actually, the complete collection of Warren Publishing, everything that they ever produced.
Wow.
So
That's crazy.
it's kind of cool because so what happens is I even have like how, like at the back of magazines they'd have like the special offers, like like you can get like the t-shirts and they would actually sell underwear. So underwear with like the covers of like some of the
some of the things I liked the best about those magazines were all the things you could potentially buy in the back. There were just so many crazy things. Yeah.
So what happened was I even have those. I have all
really
those. And they even had like this really cool pendant that you could buy. Like it had like real soil from Dracula's, Transylvania, the Transylvania.
Probably from Staten Island somewhere, but
All right, somebody's ashes.
And it's in solid gold. It's like not solid gold. It's
wow.
it's the tackiest thing, and it's like this like plastic.
That's crazy. Yeah, you got to show some of that.
And so what happens is like I used to like have a website where I'd show all my Warren collection, and a lot of celebrities are into like Famous Monsters and all these kind of horror and movie related comics and magazines. So what happened was they would email me. They would reach out to me and say, "Hey, can I borrow this? Can I borrow your underwear?"
Your Famous Monster underwear.
Yeah, you have Famous Monster underwear. So it was like crazy stuff. So I'd have all these Hollywood celebrities reaching out to me. It was kind of cool, I'm not famous, but I'd be sort of famous through them. So
you were known for that.
Yeah, I was known for that. And so I actually have some really kind of cool things that I really want to show. I even have like the foreign issues. The foreign issues are the best. Like what would happen is like they would license out the rights to other countries so that they could publish Vampirella or something like that. So you'd get like Vampirella from Japan or Vampirella from like Chile or something like that. And it was like really kind of cool cover art, and it was like it was really cool stuff. But the best ones of those was the ones from Mexico. So Mexico, they didn't have the money to pay for the rights. So what? So they just said, hey, we'll publish it anyways. We'll just call it Vampirella, but it wasn't actually like with the rights to do so.
It wasn't sanctioned.
It wasn't sanctioned. So what they would do is they didn't even have money to pay for like real artists to actually do the artwork inside the comics. So what they would do is they'd take photos. And they would take photos of these women dressed like Vampirella and like, it was the funniest thing. And it was like kind of like, do you know what a tequila Bible is? Not tequila, but what's it called? What's the city in Mexico?
Tijuana.
Tijuana Bible.
Nick had to just step out, so
Yeah,
I'll see Nick later on.
Yeah.
See you, Nick.
See you, Nick. Sorry, I talk too much.
No,
You know what a
it's
Tijuana?
all right.
It's kind of like it's like an adult book. Okay, so it's like, it's got like some sort of sexy pictures in it. Well, these Vampirellas that came from Mexico had that same kind of flavor. So
Wow,
basically,
okay,
like women kind of skimpily dressed. There was even midgets. I don't know. It's just like so inappropriate. It was so funny though. They're really interesting Vampirellas. Really rare.
But they're hard to find, so you got
Really hard
you got
to
some
find.
interesting stuff.
Really hard to find. And I just
Do you know Jeff the Cantonese comic collector? He's huge into Vampirella. There's some really big Vampirella fans in this.
Oh yeah, I have pretty much everything for Vampirella.
Robert the comic G Spot's in there. His buddy Jeff the Cantonese comic collector and Varangian Vigilante. Do you know him? He's an Austrian guy who loves. He's a huge Vampirella fan and has a lot of the various European versions of various comics. So you should probably.
Yeah, he probably loves my stuff. Like,
yeah.
Well, I'm debating though when I do my deep dive if I should show that because it's like 10,000 magazines.
Wow.
Just to give you a sense of how big that collection is, it's.
Hey man,
it's
if you got the time, we got the beer.
Yeah, so I have so many videos that I'm going to be putting out. I put out a video every day, so I'm like, I'm hoping that my channel will eventually catch on. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Well, I think it's already because when I subscribed to you, I think you had maybe 50 something subscribers originally.
Yeah.
So it's definitely already up there. So yeah, if you keep putting out a lot of content, people will start and we watch it and you'll be up there.
Yeah.
I'm just like me and Man Cave. We do shows, anything and everything. We go on other people's shows, we battle each other. We get interviewed from other people like G-Man, and that's kind of where I get out there more. Like I have more on other people's than I do on my own channel.
Yeah, me too.
I'm coming on to other people's channels. I've been on Hydra's channel a few times. I'm not sure if you know him.
Yeah, Hydra. You should get on Robert Comic Book G Spots in the chat right now. You should get on with him. It's a little late at night though. His show's at 1 a.m. our time. But it took me 4 days to recover, Robert. I'll tell you that right now. I was a zombie.
Speaking of that, he has a show tonight, but it's not him; it's his wife.
Yeah, it's the that time of the month show.
Yeah,
Tori's on that, right? Tori's on that.
It's all ladies show that talks about comic books, and they just
cool. Yeah, I love talking comics. So like, obviously, so I babbled it on bed for 2 hours now. But
Nerdy Collect, another one.
The Nerdy Collective. That's what I was.
Yeah, so I'm open to coming on any show. If anyone wants to have me, I'm like, I can babble about whatever you guys want me to babble about. I can show I have a pretty good collection. Yeah.
There you go, Captain. Someone to grab in the
the hunt.
Yeah, there's a lot of fun in this community. It's good stuff.
All right.
Yeah. So I haven't done any live streams on my channel yet. I kind of want it to be a little bit bigger before I do that, but.
Yeah, Captain and
I got more than I do, and I do live streams all the time.
Yeah, but at least you have over 1,000 Instagram followers too, right, Cap? So
I got about 2,000 on Instagram.
Yeah, see,
I don't even know what I have.
Way better than me.
My Instagram, I don't even pay attention to how many followers I have.
But that's like artists, that's pop people, that's comic book people, that's like, you know, my Instagram is a little bit different, but mainly I just show comic books or, you know, put a funny thing on there with the captain, you know, like something with one eye or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But like
Alan,
today,
what's your Instagram handle?
I don't like I have one, but it's my personal name. So
Oh, okay. So you don't.
right,
You,
right.
you should just make a comic name. Make you same thing you have there, but it might already be taken.
Yeah, I'll make another
Right.
one.
Just go number one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just keep it comics,
Keep it
if you-
comics.
and magazines if you want or something.
Yeah, because I do a lot of other stuff. Like I have like another life other than comics, obviously. But
There you go. G-Man wants me to send you info so he can get a hold of you and get you on the show.
But the easiest way to get in touch with me is just use Comic Collector Geek at Gmail. Is the easiest way. I'm kind of a old school guy. I kind of like the email.
So it's just the same thing, but just Gmail.
Yeah,
At
at Gmail. Well, I guess when you set up a YouTube channel, they automatically do that. Like they create another.
That's true. That's true. You have to get it through.
Because I actually have like multiple channels on YouTube that I put out content, but they're not comic related at all. Like more about one is about my kind of my day job, and one is more about like being politically incorrect.
Well, I like it already.
Yeah, I know. I might have checked that one out.
Yeah.
That one actually has about 2,000 subs. I don't post on it anymore. It was just
It can get a little raucous.
Yeah.
Those kind of channels.
Yeah, my wife doesn't like it. She's like, "Oh, you're gonna get hate," and so I was like, "Okay,
Yeah,
I'll focus on the comics then instead." So
what
Yeah,
what is your day job channel about?
it's my name. So I'm actually known in my industry. So I'm a marketing guy. I'm a famous marketing guy actually.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, strangely.
Nice.
So I own my own little company. It's like 20 employees. And, so.
Great.
So yeah.
Do you see what G-Man wrote right there? Transylvania.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll definitely. I have 3 of them actually. I bought like there was a seller way back in the early days that
You're gonna have to do a little soil testing, a little verification here. There's got to be a way to check.
Oh no, yeah. They say it even comes with like a little certificate of authenticity to say that this was truly taken from Transylvania. At
this point, Alan, even if it isn't from Transylvania, it's a legitimate artifact from the days of when they sold it. Even if it was an object of chicanery, it doesn't matter. It's the real deal at this point.
I'm not sure if you guys, I like those ads that were like, I actually like the ads sometimes better than the comics. So like there was one ad that's considered the most controversial ad ever inside of like a comic book. You'd have like in X-ray glasses and sea monkey,
yeah,
that kind of stuff. But there was one where they would actually sell you a live monkey. And you could buy a monkey from the back of the comic.
What years was that ad?
Oh, that was in the 60s.
In the 60s, Silver Age.
So you could actually, all of a sudden you get in the mail this monkey.
Are you serious?
Can you imagine? It would be like the craziest thing.
That's awesome. Oh my God.
So they sold some pretty cool things back then. One of the ones I saw that it was actually on what's it called? What's the one from the US? Pawn Stars.
Yeah.
Pawn Stars, yeah.
Yeah, they sold a bazooka. Like a child's version of a bazooka. Like a full scale, but
wow.
In the back of a comic. And somebody brought one of those into Pawn Stars.
Yeah, if you look at some of those Golden Age ads, they didn't mess around with the guns. The fake guns were pretty. I remember getting some crazy guns when I was a kid in the early 70s, just stuff that wouldn't fly now that looked pretty real and was.
Yeah, see, somebody knew what the monkey was that I was talking about.
Yeah, G-Man, yeah.
Squirrel
monkey.
It's like crazy.
G-Man probably has one in his basement.
Yeah. So I was thinking, can I still order it? I don't know, but
Don't shake
Probably
the box.
not.
don't shake the box.
It'd be a monkey skull now.
Yeah. So yeah. So So I don't know. I always like those things. I was really into the sea monkeys as a kid.
I got those. I actually ordered that at some point and was, a
Very
little disappointed that it was just a little krill or whatever it was. But I mean, I expected it wasn't going to be something major, but I did actually order that I ordered, remember all the ads for the soldiers, like 1,000 army men in a box? I got multiples of those at some point when I was a kid. I had a bunch. Wish I'd kept them, but.
So I had a funny story about the sea monkeys. I actually ordered the sea monkeys. I got them. I was like so excited. I followed the directions, right?
Right.
And then nothing happened. I'm like, what the hell? So I was like, okay, maybe if I just pour all the food in, that will make it happen a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
So I poured all the food in, and something did happen. It grew like not the sea monkeys, but you feed them algae. So that grew it became this big green monster. It just took over.
Nice.
I was like,
I should have done that.
it was so funny. It was like, I tried it later on. Actually, I got those sea monkeys to about this big. So yeah, they do actually grow. So
Shrimp.
there's actually a trick. There's actually
brine shrimp. That's what they are. Yeah.
brine shrimp. Yeah. So the funny thing is there's actually a trick. The very first packet that you're putting in is supposed to make the water meet their environment. Okay.
Got you. Make it the pH and all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly. And then the second packet is supposed to be the sea monkeys. Okay. But actually, the truth is, the first packet is the sea monkeys. And the reason they do this is the second packet is actually a dye. And what it does is it just makes the sea monkeys visible. So what happens is you have a few days where they can grow. And then when you add the second packet, it dyes them a little bit so that you can actually see them. So that was their way of making it so that people could actually see these things because they're really too small to see.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember seeing much. I don't think I did it right.
Yeah, so there's actually that's one of those secret stories about sea monkeys that there's actually.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm a big sea monkey fan. What can I say?
Hey man, those
Or
are
the
everybody
X-ray
who's
ones,
read
that's
comics
like
remembers those ads.
Yeah, they were always at the back, and they would have
Yep.
like the most amazing things. They'd have a castle and little sea king,
Yep.
sea king, and
The blonde-haired
yeah,
one.
it was awesome. I like sea
It looks like the George Jetsons of the Sea World or something.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so many comics. Like whenever you mention that, like some random thing, like George Jetson, I have the first Jetsons. That's another comic
Yeah, I've seen that in auctions. Yep,
Yeah.
that's nice.
So yeah, so I'll have to do one of these shows again with you, Captain.
Yeah. No, thanks for having me on, Captain. Really good to meet you, Alan. That was a blast
So yeah,
to see your stuff, man.
we'll do some different things. I have like so much stuff.
And even though Bill was in the audience, it was good to be here. Robert too.
So yeah, so thanks for having me. And yeah, maybe I'll do a show in the future on my channel, and I'll invite you guys out. So
Yeah.
Oh
definitely.
yeah, I love that. I just want to bring you in and introduce you to that's the nice thing about this community because there are cliques and I'm not a very big channel, but people do come and watch. You saw the stream all day long. People have been popping.
And this is my first time I get to be on Captain's channel, so I'm happy about that.
I don't have to compare with Man Cave, so I'm feeling pretty good right now myself.
Good stuff.
We've done several battles against each other.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
I mean, it looks
all
like
in good fun, man. That's just the win or lose. It's the way I look at it is I'm hanging around talking comics.
Yeah,
It's like,
I'm pretty jealous about that Super Duck. Actually, I really like that Super Duck number.
yeah,
To me,
The Super Duck.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I knew you had a few of. When I saw your.
I have like about 2 or 3 like that.
Yeah.
It's not
To me,
big.
you're the first person I've ever seen who had Super Duck besides me. So
Yeah, so I picked up a lot of Golden Age ones where it was just a mystery box of some Golden Age stuff, and there was Super Duck in there.
Yeah.
And then later I sought it out actually to get that Super Duck number 22 for the.
That was part of the Seduction of the Innocents.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I was flabbergasted that Super Duck was part of Seduction of the Innocents.
You know,
Those crime and suspense story comics are pretty obvious as to why that would be in it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Super Duck was,
it's the craziest thing.
and even when you showed the panel, which was him coming at him with a bat,
yeah.
it's like whoop-de-doo. I mean, what cartoon
I should have
didn't
showed
have
you
that
the
kind
panels before that because the panels before it, he's like getting caught in a bear trap. He's like his legs getting chopped off, and like it's like all these like really violent things happening to Super Duck, and then when he just goes after this poor little bunny, that's somehow the thing that makes the Seduction of the Innocent.
Well, it's the age-old thing. Every time there's a new medium, people accuse that medium of corrupting the kids. It happens. It happens with video games, comics, television, movies, whatever.
Yeah.
It's human nature.
But
I would say finally they're correct when it comes to the internet.
Yeah.
The internet is awful.
Yeah.
Finally, before that, whatever.
But I love the internet because like
I just obviously I'm on it and I love it.
Yeah, I just love being able to get the one thing that we didn't have, especially in the 90s, was the ability to like find out what comics to look for.
Oh yeah.
Like you wouldn't know where was the first appearance or what what I mean. Like so that's one thing I really do love about the internet. Like I can.
Back when I was hunting comics in the 70s and early 80s, it was all about first number one.
Yeah,
issue number one. That's all that really mattered. I wouldn't have known All-Star Comics 8 versus if you just said it was 1, I would say 1's the one to get. There's this.
Because I mean, how would you know unless somebody else knew, right? And
I mean, even if you said Batman was in Detective Comics 27, and there was also a Detective Comics 1, which one would I want? As a kid, I would have said number 1.
Yeah, of course.
Number 1's always the best.
All right.
Get a little older, a little smarter.
It's actually the later issues that are usually rarer and actually have more key appearances in them. So
yeah, that's true. When the runs get less and it's about to go extinct.
Yeah, and you get all the cool first appearances.
Yep. Well, I have to get up a little early, so I'm gonna head off here too because believe it or not, even though it's Saturday, I have to get up a little early tomorrow, which is annoying. But
well, you wanna anything on your channel? Anything you got going on, Man Cave?
I'm gonna be with Bill tomorrow at 7. He's unboxing an AOK from me, so we're gonna hang out.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And
I'm still waiting for mine too.
Yeah,
that's all right, man.
Yep. No, Captain, you're in my sights, man. Don't you worry, you're in my sights. I try to hit everybody who's on the shows with me. So, and
you guys are showing your duck covers. I got to show my duck cover just because I'm a captain.
Yeah, show it. Moby Duck.
That's awesome.
I love it.
That's a great one. Is that the first appearance of Moby the Duck? Moby Duck. That's awesome.
Go ship in it, Captain.
It's the first appearance of the white whale in the.
Like the dolphin at that,
That's awesome. I really like those old, those Gold Key ones. They're
Gold Key and Charlton. I have a lot of love for those. They were like the ugly stepchild of the Marvel and DC at the time, but I appreciated those as a kid a lot.
They're awesome. That's great. So thanks again for having me on your show, Captain, and definitely
no problem.
On my
definitely
show.
Do it again.
So, yeah,
definitely do it again.
Yeah, anytime you want to. Saturdays I've been trying to do this. If you want me to send you a message, I'll just send you a message. Bring in other people in the community. We just talk comics, show comics, have a good time, just shooting the ship.
Cool.
So with that, we could probably say good night to everybody.
See you, chat. Take it easy.
You got anything coming up tomorrow on your show there?
Who, me? Actually, it's a big unboxing. Golden Age unboxing tomorrow.
Nice.
I schedule my shows. I have it scheduled for another 3 weeks or something crazy. So
you'll grow your channel. If you do that much activity, that alone will grow your channel a lot.
I just have so much content that I could prepare. So
nice.
Yeah. I mean, I think I stepped in about when you were around right before you hit your 500 mark.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I remember seeing you messaged me at that time. Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah,
dude,
Alan-
I gotta meet you. I know you got way more than what you're showing, but I gotta meet you because man, these are some killer books you're throwing.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah, Alan,
crime
I'm
syndicate.
like the opposite. I do a video maybe once every 2 months, I think.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's pretty.
So you can run through if you look at my videos, you can run through them pretty quick.
I'll check you out. I'll definitely sub to you. So
Yeah. No,
Oh, I
appreciate
got one more person that wants to jump in. He's from Canada too, Nerdy Couch.
Oh, hey.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
What's up, nerdy?
Hey.
How you doing?
Where approximately are you in Canada?
Oh, hold on. Let me put that on mute there so I don't get the
Feedback.
echo here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm from Ontario in Woodstock here.
Okay. I'm in Vaughan.
Okay.
So we're both in Ontario. For those people,
Yeah.
outside of Canada is like snow. That's all they.
Yeah.
That's all they know. But
So we're still having some pretty chill days.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So
yeah, that's cool. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
good to meet a fellow Canadian. So
oh, definitely.
yeah.
Very, very kind.
Yeah.
And we try not to hold it against you guys.
Yeah.
We appreciate that. We appreciate that. So feel like I'm catching you guys just at the end of the show. I just wanted to hop in and say
Yeah,
hi.
we're just wrapping up. Yeah.
Well, thanks
I'm
for hopping in.
really upset I missed out on that whole monkey ad.
Yeah. That was the highlight of the whole thing. I was going to show the monkey, but
Yeah, they can be unruly and stuff. It's maybe not really a video friendly thing, right? So
yeah.
but yeah, just wanted to hop in and say hi, see how everyone was doing.
Cool.
Well, thanks for stopping in.
Good to
Chat
see
there
you
for a
guys.
while.
Captain will touch base, and yeah, Alan, good to talk with you.
Yeah, it's great talking to you, man.
Definitely. We'll
Take care.
hang out soon. You take care, Nerdy Couch.
Thank you, Man Cave.
Okay, so I'll probably head out too. So yeah, it was great meeting you guys.
Yeah. Take care. I think I'm a recent sub of yours, so
cool.
I'll definitely be watching your upcoming videos.
Yeah, great. So just any questions, just comment on my videos, and I'm pretty good about responding.
For sure,
That's
this
what
is
I
a great
said. How do I
community.
get a hold of you?
What? How do you get a hold of me?
Yeah, I said that's how I got a hold of you. I just
Exactly.
answered the question. How do I get a hold of you?
Sometimes it's the best way, right? Like we're all in the same boat here, kind of joining this wonderful community.
Yeah.
And it's the best way to get together is just to chat, right?
Yeah, exactly. So. It's a small, close knit community, I think. So
I think that's what I like best about it.
So
I want to thank Nick, the comic nerd, for stopping on. Man Cave, Nerdy Couch for stopping on. Of course, our guest tonight, Comic Collector Geek, or Alan.
Yeah. Thanks again.
Thank you.
All right. Sorry I couldn't stop in earlier.
Okay. Good night, guys.
Good night.
Take care.